till it's the finish. His work keep me driven, his goodness he given. Hey, hey, hey.
We the real Jews, no faking. I believe ain't no Haitian. Let's ride on my nation. Christ coming back, be patient. Patient, 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 patient.
Build up your patience, hear out the words that I'm speaking in cadence. I just opened up the book of the truth, flipping the pages, looking for salvation. And I just been praying we make it. I've been praying we make it. And I just been praying we make it. I've been praying we make it. And I just been busy converting my mind. The Most High is showing you wonders and signs. Seek out the wisdom and surely you'll find the key to the gates of the greatest of times. Yeah. The Spirit on me while I'm rhyming these rhymes. Turn from your sin and repent of your crimes. Endure to the end, keep your faith and you're fine.
We the real Jews, no faking. I believe ain't no Haitian. Let's ride on my nation. Christ coming back, be patient. Patient, 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 patient.
Hey.
We the real Jews, no faking. I believe ain't no Haitian. Let's ride on my nation. Christ coming back, be patient. Patient, 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 patient.
We long suffering, that mean we patient. We recovering. Awake the nation, change your mind, transformation. Present God's lost presentation. Only way you get salvation. Christ gave us the demonstration. I ain't Haitian, I ain't black. I am Israel, that's a fact. My spirit bear witness, I'm dismissing Christmas. Encounter a Christian, God's work up with quickness, reviving the sickness. Asking for patience and asking forgiveness. I'm doing his business until it's the finish. His work keep me driven, his goodness he given. Hey, hey, hey.
We the real Jews, no faking. I believe ain't no Haitian. Let's ride on my nation. Christ coming back, be patient. Patient, 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 patient.
Build up your patience, hear out the words that I'm speaking in cadence. I just opened up the book of the truth, flipping the pages, looking for salvation. And I just been praying we make it. I've been praying we make it. And I just been praying we make it. I've been praying we make it. And I just been busy converting my mind. The Most High is showing you wonders and signs. Seek out the wisdom and surely you'll find the key to the gates of the greatest of times. Yeah. The Spirit on me while I'm rhyming these rhymes. Turn from your sin and repent of your crimes. Endure to the end, keep your faith and you're fine.
We the real Jews, no faking. I believe ain't no Haitian. Let's ride on my nation. Christ coming back, be patient. Patient, 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 patient.
Hey.
We the real Jews, no faking. I believe ain't no Haitian. Let's ride on my nation. Christ coming back, be patient. Patient, 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 patient.
We long suffering, that mean we patient. We recovering. Awake the nation, change your mind, transformation. Present God's lost presentation. Only way you get salvation. Christ gave us the demonstration. I ain't Haitian, I ain't black. I am Israel, that's a fact. My spirit bear witness, I'm dismissing Christmas. Encounter a Christian, God's work up with quickness, reviving the sickness. Asking for patience and asking forgiveness. I'm doing his business until it's the finish. His work keep me driven, his goodness he given. Hey, hey, hey.
We the real Jews, no faking. I believe ain't no Haitian. Let's ride on my nation. Christ coming back, be patient. patient, 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 patient.
Build up your patience, hear out the words that I'm speaking in cadence. I just opened up the book of the truth, flipping the pages, looking for salvation. And I just been praying we make it. I've been praying we make it. And I just been praying we make it. I've been praying we make it. And I just been busy converting my mind. The Most High is showing you wonders and signs. Seek out the wisdom and surely you'll find the key to the gates of the greatest of times. Yeah. The spirit on me while I'm rhyming these rhymes. Turn from your sin and repent of your crimes. Endure to the end, keep your faith and you're fine.
We the real Jews, no faking. I believe ain't no Haitian. Israel, my nation. Christ coming back, be patient. Patient, 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 patient.
Our people have no idea what the truth is. That's why we're out here, to give you the truth. Psalms chapter 119, verse 142. Read. Psalms chapter 119 and verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom, Most High Christ bless, Most High Christ bless. Yeah. Welcome to Patient Saints Radio.
The number one.
Number one.
I
can't hear you.
Number
one.
Say it with your chest.
The one.
Now, I would say who's the number two, but why? Because we conservatives, though.
Number one.
Radio show.
Yes, sir.
Damn, you said number two. You.
No.
I mean,
who
you're there.
Yeah, who runs in the race to come in second place?
Damn. I can't wait to see number two.
Yeah, woo.
Hey, who we got in the house with us?
Bishop Kanai.
Captain Shemaiah.
Captain Aurier.
Captain Yaden. Officer Carmela.
Officer Soraya.
Mama Parya.
Hanana. Sister Naoma.
She's so happy.
You know, and Bishop, somebody tried to come with some numbers last night and stats about the views and all of that. Man, y'all been fudging numbers for I don't know how long. Stealing belts.
Right.
They fudge numbers like KPI. I'm starting off hard. Coming out swinging.
Hey, making fake Wikipedia pages.
Kind of stuff. Fake Google documents.
Google Docs.
You saw Bishop pluck that apart real quick, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't class fantastic?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Give a Lord a round of applause for that.
What a good parallel between us today and using the book of Job to show it. Again, Bishop classes, if you notice when these classes are going on, I don't even digest it then. Right. I have to do it the following day alone by myself and just listen to it to really trim all that meat that's coming off that bone.
Absolutely.
You know what it always make you think about? Where you find this stuff at?
Listen, I told Bishop, I said, you are a ferocious reader because the research behind it.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah.
What do you be finding? How do you find it? Is he flying to the catacombs?
I was about to say he gotta got a plug at the catacombs or something.
I'm like, who you know on the inside?
He knows somebody.
You want to take the special tour? Yes, that is the one I came for.
That's like when we were in Israel. And they, what is it? The Church of the Holy Sepulchre. So it's a big tourist attraction. So all the tourists there's various rooms with artwork and everything. So Bishop we're all standing there as soon as we enter, and Bishop is looking. He sees everybody like lined up. They doing all kind of things on their face and all of that. And Bishop happens to glance over. It's kind of dark in that area over there. Bishop said, we're going over there.
Cap.
Lo and behold, the true images of Christ was in that dark area, unlit, not one tourist, nobody over there.
Cap.
He is definitely
you watered it down.
I did.
Bishop,
Damn, my bad.
Bishop was in there. Boy, like the inspector.
Oh yeah, he was opening doors. He caught the so-called priest having a meeting in there. He was like, "What's going on in here?" They was like, "Oh, shit! Hide the evidence."
Wait, so Bishop he's the game warden?
Yes.
Yeah, Bishop was the game warden. Bro, Bishop didn't give a damn up in there, man. To hell with yourself. He checking everything, every room.
Yeah. So that's the good stuff is under the rock.
Yeah, it was good, bro.
They were trying to block his view from looking in the room.
Bro, Bishop is definitely a go left kind of guy.
Yes.
I call it go left. I used to tell my wife and kids that there's ever something you see a bunch of people going one direction, go left. Go left. Bishop is definitely a go left kind of guy.
That's right.
Not going where all y'all going. That doesn't make sense.
Opening doors, man. Open them doors up. They was probably iconoclasm in there as we spoke. That's what they was
in the midst
doing.
of the painting, like, give him a little more blush on his cheeks.
Exactly.
Restricted.
Some rouge.
Yeah.
But it was too clean. Why y'all got these pictures back in the back? Sir. No, we want to know.
We need answers.
That's speak to your manager.
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Where's your manager?
You don't got the answers, Sway.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but all praise to
That's
the Most
amazing.
High, man. All praise to the
hell of a
Most
story.
High, Bishop.
Who
Brought it
goes
out.
to a tour, the monument and opens doors?
Yes.
At a monument.
Right. Because you saw these. I don't know what they were, rabbis or whatever, but they had these big box hats.
Try to be an afro.
Yeah, no, not the ones that we see, like those fake afros, but they had these square hats. They had a whole getup, different types, but you could tell they were like Russian and Ukrainian and all of that stuff. And they were making they weren't looking at the tourists or going where the tourists went, but they would just go off into these dark areas and go into these various rooms. Man, Bishop was like,
He following. Yeah. That's what we going.
he looking past the dude. What y'all doing in there? He was like, "What y'all doing in there?"
What old girl said on Friday? What y'all got going on?
Bishop was like, "What y'all got going?" I think it was funny as hell.
Bishop pulled a buy for Alicia.
Hey.
What y'all got going on?
And the funniest cap was when we went to I call it the failing wall.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "Well, sir, y'all had to put on the yarmulke before y'all could go down." Bishop said, "Putting that shit on?" Right down there, man. We ain't playing no games.
All praise.
All praise.
I wish I get the nuts to open the door at a monument one day. I'm really just stuck on that.
Like
bro.
in the movie, you just
like,
go in all restricted areas.
Right,
Just,
like, what's in here? I'm going where I want to go. Sir, you
that
can't.
thing was great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
What the hell y'all doing?
Right.
Yo, once again, I forgot. Shout out to the #1 radio station, PSR. Christian Saints. We're going to keep drilling this thing.
Hey, that goes without being said. I'm going to be serious.
Dang.
There's a lot of good shows out there. The PSR is above the rest.
You always learn
Learn
something new every day.
I want to say something. And the reason why, because I'm sitting here right now, and I'm so comfortable with my little personal fan.
I ain't even see the fan. I ain't even see the fan.
I don't know who else does that, but they do like I got my own.
Captain, y'all did got one too.
I looked over here. I was like, "What is this thing?"
It's called individual climate control at PSR.
They was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, listen.
All praise.
All praise.
The rest of y'all better take notes.
Dang. Well, that #2 show did come and take notes and ask what kind of mics we use.
Yep.
And
Bring it
all
on.
I ain't gonna, it's cool.
Yep.
Sharing is caring.
Yep.
So we ain't gonna gatekeep around here.
Yeah. We ain't trying to block your blessing.
Not at all.
Nope. We not. We shared it.
Block your blessing.
You gonna get your blessing. All praise. Hey, shout out to Deacon Malachi.
Yeah, fire class.
Doing
Shout out.
the work. Same thing with Captain Amaziah. Godspeed. Send up prayers for their safe travels. And send up prayers for IUIC Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? About that life. That's all I'm
life.
going to say. All I'm going to say, they about that life.
Yeah.
Holding it down.
That's all I'm saying.
it.
They was in the spirit of the Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Surely in the spirit of the Lord.
Hey, shout out to Tyrone, the Choctaw Warrior.
Yeah, you saw that?
I have blocked this man at least 70 times.
Every single Saturday, he creates. We block him, and then he'll create a new page, and then come back in. Right, he does it every Saturday.
Right now. He out here right now.
We got that kind of time.
What's his name?
Tyrone, the Choctaw Warrior.
He does it every Saturday.
Happy New Moon, huh?
Tyrone,
Happy New Moon
Magnice. The real one. Hey, look, this is our biggest fan.
He has like 12 pages.
Who got time for all them damn email addresses?
So like how he said, happy new moon, right?
Yeah.
Bishop Nathaniel brought out Genesis chapter 1 and went into the two great lights.
Right.
And you ever had that moment where it was so simple in front of you all this time?
Yep. How did I not see
and
this?
until it was explained in that simplicity, it's like,
What have I
how
been
is
doing?
it a great light if it was dark?
Right.
Right.
I feel stupid.
Way to take the soup.
I felt so stupid.
And how many times have you read that?
A million times. I was like, that makes perfect. Whose phone is that?
It ain't me.
That's sound effects.
Oh, so, and so when these camps that still teach that the moon is dark, listen, the level of hatred that they have because it came out of IUIC, they won't concede to what the scripture says.
Is they can't receive it. But here's the thing. Listen, if you see it the way you see it over there, do what you do. Serve God over there. Right. Do what you have to do. But it amazes me how people put so much energy into watching what we're doing and having to critique it. Won't you just go out in the corner and raise up the 12 tribes of Israel? Bring it back to the Lord. If you think with the way you, because at one time we kept it like that. So I'm not disillusioned that people might see it like that because we did. But God showed us something different. All right then. But just apply the commandments to sit on. And I'm assuming this whoever that guy is, he's sitting here. He's. He
already added a new page. I blocked him.
Yeah.
The second time.
Listen. Put the camera on me. I want him to look at me. Dude, get a life, man.
That's it.
Right, you got to get a life. Something's wrong with you. You got mental issue. You're smitten with madness. If that's what you spend your days doing, opening new pages to come and heckle or whatever you're doing, it ain't gonna stop what we're doing. It doesn't. You just give us content to talk about you and whatever else we talk about. Nobody's ever going to follow you. You're not a leader. Nobody's ever going to follow you and bring this gospel
this
again.
Is 3.
Yeah, you know.
Nigga, you gay.
Yes. You live a pitiful life. And if you think you're going to build some fame off of this, it's getting you nowhere. But I guess if this is what you get off on, outside, let me stop.
Yeah, he got good serotonin going. He like, oh, my serotonin banks is full.
He does it every show, every Saturday, literally every single show. We block him like 12 times, and he just keep creating pages.
Watch this real quick. Go to the book of James, chapter 3. I want to read 3:13.
The book of James, chapter 3, verse 13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works.
Stop. Let him show out of a good conversation his works. Where is your plethora of works that you've done to bring this gospel along? Any way you see it. Who is a man that you know has knowledge and wisdom? His works will precede him. Tyrone, read on.
Bigums.
Read on.
With meekness of wisdom.
Read on.
But if ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth.
What's your driving force that gives you reason to wake up in the morning is to what have bitter envy, to have envy. That's what makes you do what you're doing over and over, because your God, Shaitan, moves you to the point that you can't help yourself. Read on.
This wisdom descendeth not from above.
So this wisdom that you think you have is not coming from God. God is not inspiring you. It does not come from above. Read on.
But it's earthly, sensual, devilish.
And that's why you do it, because it arouses your senses. It makes you feel good. You're getting a woody by saying open a new page, and that's how you get off. You're a weirdo. I'm telling you, something's wrong with you, buddy. Nigga, you gay. You're gay. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. And I'm not trying to be funny. Something's wrong. I pray for you because something's wrong with you. You got serious mental issues. Read on.
For where For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work.
You up to evil works. Right. So now when we use you as a platform for the rest of you on here, King Zion or whoever you all else are, Judith and all you to learn and see. Don't follow that dude example. Be righteous people and do the work. And I don't care what camp you in. It doesn't bother me. I'm not against you. You're not my enemy. If you're trying to teach the people to repent and keep God's commandments, do as you best you can. When Christ comes, then he'll sort the rest of it stuff out.
Right. Facts.
Child's I'm telling you, these be dudes, be grown men with great chest hairs, don't got nothing to do with their life, and they sit and do this all day, man.
This part?
Yeah.
Just this part.
I be wondering, I be thinking in my mind, because my mind is be going, I be like, when they be doing that, I be wondering, what do their wife be thinking of their husband?
Damn. They don't have one.
They're like, huh?
You don't have no
like,
wife.
nigga,
I can't imagine him having a wife, and if he have a wife, what kind of woman is like, that's the man you look up to? That's your guy?
You act like a bitch.
Yeah. She be like, hey, babe, you got any tampons? I mean, you got...
Okay, so he said, hey, before they had blocked it, it's weird for us to sit up there and go to Geno Jennings' church. This nigga crazy. Man.
So you say he get a Woody? Like, are they like shadow files or something?
Shadow files.
I can just see him right now. He got peanut butter.
Typophilia.
On his body, with a fly swatter, he's slapping himself.
He got typophilia.
I love this.
I blocked him 5 times.
And he only eat a circle out of each slice of bread.
Damn.
What a
This
life.
a hole puncher. He right here hole punching the bread. Y'all want some bread? Nah, bro.
Lotion on its skin that does what it's told.
It's a bunch of bread in the garbage with circles, holes in it.
Them scriptures, people understand them scriptures, them curses are real. Right. All people are gonna be smitten with madness.
Yeah.
Smitten with madness. I'm telling you, crazy. We got some lunatics out there.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
Damn, typophilia.
Hey, shout out also to Captain Barnabas.
Barnaby.
You're done.
The works.
Yeah, done. No.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got. I'm telling you, we got some mighty men out here doing some mighty works around the world. We're everywhere, bringing this gospel to the people, man.
Right.
Little riffraff.
Man, shout out to all the new schools as well. We got a few
absolutely.
new schools. Shout out to them, to all the leaders over those schools. Most High still giving us little sanctuaries because leaders in the spirit of Christ are forward thinking. We have to have a place for the people to come to have that solace, to have that peace, to be around the like-minded. You can't want to gather the nation and not be forward thinking enough to have somewhere for the nation to gather.
I always feel comfortable or comforted when Captain Shemaiah speaks. Like the way he talks, and the solace.
Right.
It makes me just feel warm.
You pause at all the right places.
Honestly, I feel whole.
He like a weighted blanket.
Comforted. I feel comforted.
Well,
how did it go this?
I'm swaddled. Your words are swaddling.
You sound and you must feel like cashmere.
What is that, velvet?
That's that gravy.
I'm
Quite the motivational
He is, right? He is.
sorry.
He's like melatonin.
Put you right to sleep.
Just wrapped up in your words, Cap. I feel so secure.
I mute my mic.
Captain Melatonin.
I mute my mic.
I don't even listen to him at night because I may fall asleep and never wake up.
Oh shit!
and be all right with it.
It's like the plight.
I'm okay if you take me now, Lord.
You need a radio. You need your own little place of music. DJ with quiet storm.
Hey, you could probably get paid. Just read and put it on YouTube.
That's it.
Put it on YouTube and play it at night.
Devil on y'all.
Play it. Look. The dove is descended over his head.
Oh, snap.
What is he?
Oh my!
That went so left, bro.
Bishop Cashmere.
Your name is preceded with "Oh my."
Oh my. Oh gosh.
Oh,
He put 5 fingertips on his chest.
He really thinking right now. He's like, I quit my job.
Okay, we'll leave you alone. Yeah, we'll leave you alone.
I feel warm.
Now I'm gonna quit my job.
Bishop put 5 fingers on his chest. Just the fingertips, though. Not the palm, just the tips. Oh, my.
I'm taking it back. Hey, Camilla, stop. Because you're gonna keep me going. Let's stop.
Yes, sir.
Oh man.
It's so stuff just be funny.
Look, Cap don't even want to speak right now, bro. You gonna moderate the show, man? You gonna say something?
Just snap on somebody.
Captain Cashmere, say something.
Captain Cashmere.
Look at this guy.
He's soft like a white rabbit.
Oh, shoot, man.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna get in trouble.
So what's next,
I
guys?
feel like may have.
What's next? Tender like the first fruits, budding from the ground.
Oh man, Captain Cashmere.
Easy like a Sunday
Oh, it's over now, bro.
He's easy like a Sunday morning.
Oh damn.
Y'all gonna have me go to camp and cuss everybody out now.
Just out the gate. He said, I'm gonna curse everybody. Please, Cap, curse me out.
Oh snap.
Only your words can correct me.
Ask him a question. How do we know what the 12 tribes? You don't know how the hell we know what the 12 tribes.
Cured.
Your words remind me of a gentle breeze through a field of lavender.
As I frolic with my shoes off and the dude.
The gentle dew upon my toes.
Look at his face.
I feel my life may be in danger. I think I'm
And
gonna
let me tell you
stop
something.
now.
And that's Almighty Captain Shemaiah.
Yes, it is. Captain Cashmere.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted now. That's right. He'll turn up on you.
That's right.
Someday, just not today. Okay, enough. Let's move on.
Oh man.
Let's go.
That's why PSR the #1 radio show.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, shout out to Deacon Abiel, Captain Azariah.
Who? The belt.
No, they gonna head back. So we want to wish them Godspeed. Deacon Abiel.
Did they take the belt?
They tried, I heard.
They tried. Let me tell you, these guys got no morals.
Yeah.
After 3 hours of scriptures, these niggas got to stealing.
Is
Thou
that
shalt not steal. Did not
Literally.
Was you just not reading the Bible?
Literally.
What was you do the whole class of the scriptures? You are plotting. I'm telling you, some
Literally.
underhanded guys.
So he saw it from the pool.
was that the whole purpose of the visit to come and take the belt?
Come on, bring it out and put it back in and
Them
bring it out
brothers
again.
drove all that way.
I'm telling you.
For some thieving the
to
belt.
try to get the belt.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Officer Nathaniel, the grill champ.
That's right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right. There we go. Yeah.
You know,
He strived lawfully.
AKA Officer MLK.
Officer
Yeah.
Emmett.
I have a dream.
I have a meat.
Easy. Pause.
no.
Pause.
Pause. To say brisket.
Oh man.
Brisket.
I'm gonna cook some brisket. There's some macaroni and
That
cheese.
overcooked brisket and undercooked brisket could be plated together.
Oh my goodness. I really enjoyed myself here, man.
yo, y'all, listen, these comments are ruthless.
Yeah, you see that?
Somebody
The
said
lamb was salty in
ATL one
Give a
year.
damn about that?
How do we make these left turns?
I don't know.
They've been waiting to say that for 6 years.
That person wasn't even there.
You say you were there.
Exactly.
You heard
I
about
guarantee you,
her.
man.
Okay. The lamb was salty.
It was.
Nah, it was a figment of your
How many Day of
imagination.
Atonements ago was that?
Yeah.
But you know, here's the thing with people. The truth, it was salty. So okay, it was, but we still kept the law. Right. You know, and here's the point. Maybe they're being funny. I hope that's what they are. They're trying to be funny.
Right,
All right.
right,
But if they're not, that's for you to reason within yourself. To the pure, all things are pure.
Right,
When your mind is defiled, you find problems in everything. It's just who you are as a person. You can't know that's in your DNA. You just an unhappy soul. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping they're being funny. But if they're not, so what? Does it change anything? We still haven't passed over the Lord's Day, give him glory. It doesn't change anything.
Right.
You know?
Next year we might put Bishop on a dragon. Yeah.
Right.
A dragon.
You are what?
I ate as much lamb as I could. They until my eyes felt like they was gonna pop out, but I ate it. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, enjoyed it. You know?
It hurt for a day, but
No,
small price to pay for the
ain't
Lord.
no like a couple of baby actors can't fix.
You know what I'm saying? Drink some water. You'll be fine.
Take a nap.
Take a nap.
Okay, somebody said I want that food. Hey, shout out to Bishop Kanai.
For what?
Shout out to the team, the cooks at Passover. See, they're bigging it up.
The grill team.
I want that food from formal night Passover 2023.
Hey,
So that thing was fire.
I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I would say, all praise to the Most High. The brothers and sisters that put forth their hand to help, what a fantastic team. I'm not even saying to make them feel good. I'm saying fact, because it got to a point when I was in there, I pulled back and was just watching it, and I'm just trying to navigate and manage it. And everybody in their prospective offices was doing their thing. So I thought I did my thing. with the beef until people start eating them carrots.
Everybody
had purple little carrots, man.
I didn't get to try. Everybody had carrots. Them little sweet little purple little carrots, them little purple and man, them carrots.
Let me tell you something.
So in my life, I never had carrots.
Let me tell you
had
something.
no carrots.
I'm gonna tell you how bad this sister Maya is. How bad she with it. Because I brought the carrots because I said we're gonna do something really. I wanted to plate it nice. So I brought a whole bunch of seasonings, and I didn't have a recipe in my mind that I was planning to do it myself. So I said, Maya, make a mixture of something real quick. Let me taste it. So she made something. I'm like, nah, it's good, but it's just it doesn't give me that umami. It doesn't hit all those senses. She said, okay. I said, make another batch. She made the second batch, and when I tasted that, I'm like, money.
That's the one.
So here's that ain't the big deal. I said, that's money. I said, now can you replicate that for 200,000 pieces? She said, yeah. So that means she had to measure and knew what she was doing. Because anybody can make some taste good by accident.
Right.
But I'm like, can you do it now? We got 200,000 pieces of these at the end. Man, so I tasted it was fantastic. But that's me. When I saw in the comments, I called her. I said, people was talking about vegetables over beef. That's what they're saying right here. I'm like, damn. I said, go ahead, sister.
I know I had a couple. I was like, but
they are requesting,
busting.
Bishop. They said Lord's will. They are requesting that those same carrots be at a tabernacle.
Oh wow!
Listen to me.
People are like they've never had carrots like that before. I missed it.
And listen, it ain't like she came with her own. She worked what I gave her.
Wow.
From the scratch. About the kitchen sometimes. Kitchen boy, you gotta go in there. You got an idea, but you ain't got what you think you got.
Yeah. Surely I thought the beef was
don't make excuses for the Atlanta kitchen
I would
team,
say that
sir.
thing turned out
sir,
fire.
Sir, don't do it.
Sir, yes.
Y'all actually been doing good lately, man.
I'm about to say, y'all be. I enjoy their food. Like that fish that made last night that I found out they didn't make, they bought it. But in my mind, I thought they made it. I'm just, I came to the kitchen and said thank you for cooking it, and they warmed it up.
You gotta warm it up.
Wait a minute, that was fine.
And you know me, you know
Captain
how I
REA, man.
The kitchen team, you know how I am. When I like something, I come in, I say thank you.
Right.
Mother part y'all had what we made last night. She liked the fish we made.
How you know? You didn't ask her?
Yes, I did ask her.
Did you like? How you gonna say? Even she didn't like it, she gonna say she liked it.
When he asked you, was he looking at you with the crazy eyes? Like you like that fish, right?
Mother part
It was very delicious.
See that? I just asked her
It
what
was
she
brown
I said, you
stew
fine? You need anything?
fish.
She said, I
They
like
bought
it.
that, Paria.
No, it ain't.
No, not the fish.
Because I asked.
The brown stew fish y'all made last night?
I asked the
No,
officer.
stop. The brown stew fish y'all made last night?
Not the snappers, but we had,
another brown
made
stew.
some more fish.
Okay. All right. So the ones they made was a real brown stew?
The gravy, absolutely, yes.
Oh, snap. Well,
yes.
Okay.
It was like little nuggets. It was
fish fingers.
No. It's like they had
like bites.
Bites. That's what it was.
Fish
It was
bites.
little fish bites.
That's the scraps they had from
I didn't
last
have
week.
to.
Exactly.
With some gravy on top of it.
You already know.
Got him.
Hey, waste not, won't not.
What now? Asking you shall receive leftovers.
I can't win with y'all, man.
Bishop, I will tell you that I had a lot of people from the kitchen team at Passover that said that they just love working underneath you. And they enjoy it, and they're looking forward to it again. So they always want to be on your team.
You know the kitchen's my place. You know I love that, man. All praise to the Most High.
At Tabernacle, you spent more time cooking than hanging out.
Yeah.
More time
That's why he's a master of the feast.
Yes.
That's right.
It is my love. That's my passion. I've been doing this since I came to Truth. My first pass, I've always been involved in the food. And I love it. I enjoy the kitchen crew. I enjoy Atlanta's kitchen crew. I want them everywhere I go. I have a good time. All praise, man. And we got some fantastic cooks.
You'll get Bishop come chop it up with you about 30 minutes. That's all he gone. He gone. See the golf cart? Gone.
Right. He be speeding through the park too.
That golf cart stay on the move, boy.
I don't know how I pull all this weight, but it be pulling it.
Hey, but you know the satisfaction when he slows down and he stops. He sit back. Yeah. All right. Let me see the glasses. I'm done. Damn, this joker's.
Shout this guy.
All right, everything ate, okay?
Yeah. Y'all good? Y'all need
Now where that scotch at?
He does.
Right.
When you see him, make sure everybody good.
But I was like, that's what he really gonna say.
He does that.
That's what he really gonna say.
I want to move on. Listen, it got to a point in the kitchen where it was it was so many pieces moving, and it was everybody was firing off. Officer there, everybody was in a prospective office.
Right.
Then I got a chance to stand back and just watch.
Wow.
And I poured me some scotch, and I'm just watching. And I'm like, now just take care of that, take care of that. And after I didn't have to say nothing. And everybody's doing their thing. And I'm sitting back and I'm sipping scotch. And we pushed out over more than 5,000 plates of food.
7 per night.
Let me tell you, man, listen to me. If you can really understand the magnitude of doing something on that level, man, that thing was beautiful.
Man,
it was beautiful.
That's a big deal.
It always makes it better when Captain Cashmere say, look, I feel whole.
I can
be warm and filled with carrots.
Hey, Cap, you need your own radio, bro.
I told you, look, just make smooth
Your own
sounds and
podcast,
play them
bro.
on
I'm
YouTube,
telling you,
man.
bro.
You gonna rake up.
I bet if you put that sauce on vegetables, it'll get kids
sauce?
to eat
His
their
voice?
veggies.
Oh, they call your voice the sauce.
The sauce.
I thought it was my real sauce.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about the sauce for the carrots.
No. I like my version of it better. My version better.
By far,
Put the sauce on it.
Hey, I'm gonna get my kids to
By
eat.
far.
I'm gonna get my kids to eat cauliflower. Listen to Captain. Dad, can I have some more cauliflower? Rewind that again.
Can you put some of that shim on mine?
That's the name, Shem on mine.
Shim on mine.
It's not Shemai anymore. It's Shem on mine.
And some of that
We
cashmere.
need a shirt that say that. That's hilarious.
Are we gonna start the show?
This guy gets on my nerves.
I'm taking full advantage of Bishop being here.
Yeah, Cap, are we gonna start the show?
I feel my life may be in danger
yes,
afterwards.
Listen, you gotta talk, Cap. At this point, this is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, yes, sir.
All
right,
he's so modest.
We got 30 more minutes.
Yeah, we got at least 30 more minutes.
Go.
Officer Alicia, let's go. We got a lot of topics actually. We need to cover. Just pull them up. Let me just glance at them real quick because I forgot already. Go ahead. What was that? Okay, keep going. I didn't choose that. What the hell was that? Okay, good. Keep going. Give us a second, y'all. I don't know what that is. Okay.
That was you were saying there's something.
The epidural.
Epidural?
Yeah,
Oh, the epidurals. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead. All right. Let's go back to the beginning. Might as well start there. Let's go. Start with your neighborhood friendly. No, how does it go?
Friendly neighborhood.
Friendly neighborhood white man, which is known as your Yiddish, but they are Amalek according to the Bible. We gave them a break for a couple weeks, but we back.
We know as the Boule, which was the black, light-skinned professional elite, doctors and lawyers out of Philadelphia, who felt that they had no class association for themselves, that they weren't allowed to mix with the white elite, and they felt they were above the rest of the black community, so they created the first Greek-led black organization in America, what we know as the Boule, so that they could have their own debutante, cotillions, and their own elite thing. And so there was a fight at that time about what we would be called Negroes. This fight talk we have now, whether they're going to be called Negroes, colored, Afro-Americans, Sudanese, Ethiopians, all of these were discussing at that time. So the Niagara movement was the militant aspect of the black movement. But then that's when something happened in the South. A Jew named Frank was lynched. He was a Jewish travel salesman, or police, or what do you call it, insurance salesman, traveling salesman, one of those, who was lynched in Georgia for the raping of a young white girl in a warehouse.
What happened?
Ran out of data.
Uh-oh. Somebody didn't pay the Wi-Fi?
We ran out of data.
Yeah, just talk, Gravy. Just talk.
Damn.
This guy.
So next question. You all know about the Boule?
I thought that was like some secret society type stuff. I ain't knew it was niggas at first.
Yeah.
Carmella, man.
Keep it real.
It was light skinned niggas.
So that's the origin of like Greek fraternities.
Absolutely.
Right. So what it's going to go into, though, is you went over Leo Frank in great detail. with Amalek, licking baby penises and stuff. But what he did sparked, or the Anti-Defamation League sparked something. And if we can get the video to play, it leads you into the creation of certain black organizations is really not our own doing.
I want to share something with you. Excuse me. In my younger years, I was involved in a Greek fraternity. And
Officer Alicia too.
The paddles?
Really? Okay, let's get to anyway, Farrakhan came to speak at my college. And he said, if any of you are involved in these Greek-led fraternities, he said, you're a disgrace to your race. And everybody knew, was like, everybody real bad.
Right.
I was cut. Well, I wasn't cut then because I didn't know the truth.
Right.
It wasn't until I came into the truth I understood what he was saying and why he said it for. Is that why you laughing for, Cap? Let me share with me.
Oh, no reason.
Sure.
You just sit there with a smile.
I want to know.
I just can imagine you with the white and red cane spinning it around, or I was wrong.
Can I ask a question? If you know my personality, what do you think?
I don't know.
The purple one.
I would say Q, dog.
Yeah, he was a Q.
Yeah.
You was a Q?
You had them gold boots.
Oh, he was a Q.
Yes, but no. That was evil as hell. Listen. So anyway, so he said it was a disgrace to your race.
Yes.
It wasn't until I came to truth and I started to read the Apocrypha and the atrocities that we suffered from. And let me go back a little bit. All that stuff, when I say it's evil on the inside, because some of the members that I was involved with back then, they became the grand bossless of the fraternity out of my chapter. And I could tell you behind closed doors, the things that these men were doing. I went into rooms, and I'm being very direct. I was invited, because everybody in the fraternity don't get in certain circles.
Okay.
But I've gotten into rooms when I was a young man where they were the older men of the fraternity. I'm talking men 50, 60, 70 years old in the room. And it's 30, 40 men, they're not that much. They're about 15 to 20 men in the room. And it's nothing but young girls. And these men there's nobody my age in there. These all 60-year-old men sitting there. One man was sitting down butt naked. And they had all the young girls. These girls could have been older than 20 years old. I don't know if anybody was underage.
We did a story about that with the AKA woman, the lady who was over AKA. They got persecuted for prostitution. They was putting all the little young girls out to the older. What they call them?
Fraternity.
When they used to
pledge.
No. You know, like when somebody.
Said
Alma mater is like the people who
alumni?
used to, alumni.
Yeah.
That's what they was. They was
for real though.
Yeah, selling them little girls.
And these same men, the following day, came downstairs dressed with suits on. These are professionals, but they was in there, man, married men. It was nothing but all manner of debauchery, filth, evil. And they say they based themselves off Christian values. And I'm not saying because somebody told me. I'm telling you because I was there. So we gonna play that?
Yeah, let's play it. Said you had it up. It was the first one. Start from the beginning. Just go back a little bit. All right.
George salesman, traveling salesman, one of those, who was lynched in Georgia for the raping of a young white girl in a warehouse. There was a black man also arrested who was a janitor in one of these warehouses. But they let the black man go, and they captured the Jewish guy, took him to jail, and the mob came and lynched him. His name was Brown, I think. But at any rate, that's when the Jews formed the Anti-Defamation League. And they came to the black folks and formed a partner organization called the NAACP.
Whoa.
Boom.
Whoa. So many of us may know that behind the scenes, it was Esau that developed the NAACP, National Association for Advancement of Colored People, right? But what we didn't know was it was actually Amalek. It was the devil himself that started the NAACP, which gave no advancement to so-called colored people. None whatsoever. Was that the end of the video? Keep going.
And ACP, the only black person in the leadership was W.B. Du Bois.
That's it.
I think God was secretary. All the rest of the officers that organization were white folks. So they were using black folks, and they would use black folks for the next coming decades as cannon fodder to change laws in America that would favor Jewish immigration into the South and development in the South. You know, and once those laws and stuff was passed, the same Jewish population who profited so much from integration and desegregation would turn against the African American population in their partnership with the white Southern business.
Stop.
Him there
Go
first.
back a little bit first,
Goodness.
because we can't miss that last part he just said. Go ahead, play it again.
Jewish population who profited so much from integration and desegregation would turn against the African American population in their partnership with the white Southern business and cultural community.
So you were used like a menstruous rag and tossed to the side once they got the benefits that they really wanted. But they used so-called blacks as the catalyst to push and get certain rights and said ways. So real quick, there it is right there. Go back to that guy. Okay, zoom in a little bit. Now, for many people will see famous pictures of Martin Luther King marching a day before the speech addressed at the Washington Monument, which is the I Have a Dream speech. So there's a guy, Rabbi Prince. He's no rabbi, or Dr. Prince. He's supposed to be a spearhead of the civil rights movement. So read that real quick.
Civil rights. Dr. Pence devoted much of his life in the United States to the civil rights movement. He saw the plight of African American and other minority groups in the context of his own experience under the Hitler. From his early days in Newark, a city with a very large minority community, he spoke from his pulpit about the disgrace of discrimination. He joined the picket lines across America protesting racial prejudice, from unequal unemployment to segregated schools, housing, and all other areas of life.
So now, remember what we just read in 1909. So this is long before the civil rights movement, when the NAACP was created, the ADL was created. So you got to think about it. As the years go on, just like the Balfour Declaration, later on became the Israel becoming an actual state. So it's meaning their workings are behind the scenes for quite some time to get to this point now in the 1960s, where he's spearheading the civil rights movement. Well, remember what the ulterior motive was in the early 1900s. They said, listen, we're going to use black people to get certain rights and advancement. Go ahead.
While serving as president of the American Jewish Congress, he represented the Jewish community as an organizer of the August 28th, 1963 March on Washington.
So he's the organizer of it. It was not Martin Luther King.
Wow.
He go ahead, Bishop.
No, go ahead.
He was a rabbi in Israel, and he moved here because he came for the plight of the black man. No, devil, not at all. You saw opportunity to get certain perks for your people at the helm of using black folks like puppets, and then when you're done with them, you toss them away because you build communities black folks can't move into.
Right.
You have hospitals that black folks can't go to. You understand? So don't make it seem, and they love to use that, because even on Clubhouse, you all right, Carmela?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I'm thinking.
Now you be processing stuff. What you got?
Go ahead.
When he speaks, it's gonna be deep.
Yeah,
it's gonna be deep.
I still haven't gotten over when he went over the boiling frog in the water. I never forgot that.
But
good.
So the scripture said we're gonna for one of all things. Now, I never thought of rights. But then you think about, we have not progressed socially past this point.
Right.
And the only reason we got to this point is because the white man set it up for himself to get you to this point for what he needed. So we have no power to do anything.
That's a good
like
point.
you have nothing. G, you got no power. Like you didn't even organize the thing that you thought you organized.
Right.
You had no play in it.
Right.
You was just the face of something for this man here to do what he wanted for his people. And when they was done with you, you realized you couldn't do your rights progress no further.
Hey, so you know what you just said, Kameli? I'm gonna bring it down for people that don't understand how grave this is. Bring it to a very small level. You see how you was taken back, the way you look when you kind of recognize that, wow, we didn't even have the inception of this. It was the white man fueling us or moving, or what we call a movement.
Right.
You know what that's called? That's called a pimp. A pimp. Wow. That's what pimp do with a hoe. What does a pimp do with his hoes? He buys them their clothes. I'll give you this. I'm gonna dress you. I'm gonna make you. This way you take away all power, but you make them believe that they have some type of power.
Right.
You go pick out what you want to wear from this right here. I'm gonna let you pick something.
Yeah, anything from this.
Right. I'm gonna give you, and that's that false sense. And because we trust in oppression, we are so broken mentally. Remember, give me that real quick. Proverbs 3:31. Watch this real quick.
You think Prince, this guy Prince, Dr. Prince, might have been the one that made Dr. King change his speech?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I was going to make that statement.
Hold on. But before we get that, make the point.
Because wasn't he going
those same lines?
Yeah, wasn't he going to give a different speech and then change it at the last minute?
Remember, on the show we went over, we went extensively into Martin Luther King prior to I Have a Dream speech.
Right.
Martin Luther King was a revolutionary.
Yeah. Right.
He wasn't the let's all be inclusive like he's known to be today.
Right.
And that happened. And Malcolm X revealed it. I have one of his autobiographies. He himself, because they were acquaintances. They weren't the best of friends, but they understood the struggle that they were in together, though they had different belief systems, right? Malcolm X in his memoir stated that Martin Luther King took payment to change his outlook. That's what Malcolm X said himself. To change his outlook, hence changing the I Have a Dream and what do you call that? Not assimilation.
Segregation?
No.
Integration.
And now integration. But that's not what Martin Luther King, when you look at his old stuff, he was not teaching like that.
Right. So watch this. Wow. Yeah. Go before we read that. Well, read that. Proverbs 3:31.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
We, like you said, with the boule, they chose because they were following the fashions of Esau with their secret societies, which really is found the fashions of Egypt. Right. Another story, another time. But we chose their ways. We chose to try to, we wanted to have debutantes. Right. We didn't choose or prefer old ways. And what we had, which was the laws of God, which our people didn't know at that point, or many didn't know, but we envied them. And because of envy, because we look to them as the barometer on what's right and good and beautiful, the American dream, like you said, when Martin Luther King admitted, they sold themselves.
Damn.
They sold themselves for money. They sold themselves out. And that's why he changed what he was saying. So real quick, give me that real quick. A gift destroyeth the heart. Ecclesiastes 7:7, real quick. Had they understood this and or applied this, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad.
Surely oppression will make a wise man mad. But you know what? Was not Martin Luther King wise? Yes, he understood. He was oppressed. He fought. But guess what?
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
The gift would destroy the what?
The heart.
It would destroy the heart. It would destroy the mind of that wise man that was mad.
Right.
He was once mad, but when you pay him off, it destroyed his heart.
No more. Yeah.
He compromised. He compromised. That's why we can't be in it for money. Because if money is going to be a driver, they'll pay you. Yeah. Right. They'll pay you to control. Real quick, book of Second Maccabees, let's say. 2 Maccabees chapter 4. verse 15.
2 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 15. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
They liked the glory of the other nations, of the Greeks, white men, more than they set by their own honors.
Right.
They chose that. The scripture says in Matthew 6, you got to get it. Wherever your heart is, that's where your treasure is also. Wherever your mind is, that's where your treasure is going to be at also. So they set aside the honors of their fathers, their morals, their integrity for a payout. He was bought. He was bought off to change his speech.
It would make sense too, because which president was it that said that he didn't like Negro unity?
That was
Harry Trump. Was that Trump?
Hoover.
So if they don't like Negro unity, you think they're gonna just let Dr. King and all these blacks just show up in Washington unless you have somebody to say,
of course,
they okay.
Of course,
we changed his speech.
Of course, there you go.
They're docile now.
Can you pull up what I gave you? Can you show what I showed you? You brought us out concerning the founders of the NAACP. Open that up.
2 sellout Negroes.
It should just be.
Is that Mrs. Doubtfire?
He said
Okay.
Miss Doubtfire.
Okay, so look who they put in the front. W.D. Du Bois. He ain't the man behind it. If you look at the just put the list of the founders, and you're gonna see how. I want you to see how long this list is. Him and Ida B. Wells are the only so-called Negroes in this whole thing. And there's 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 founders. And you think them 2 Negroes had a voice? Right. They were just the front or the face that was used.
They're like, let's tell you what we're gonna do.
Because among the Negroes of the time, W.E.B. Du Bois was someone of prominence and to look up to. So they used him as the face, but the whole ship is being manned and run by
Amalek.
But E.B. Du Bois actually was the one that they used to discredit and defame Marcus Garvey.
Right.
Yep. So they already knew they had a sucker.
Hey, actually, probably scroll to the right. It might keep going. Does it keep going? There you go.
Yeah, hit that.
That nigga named Archibald.
Look, these are all the founders of the NAACP.
See that?
It's not. Listen.
Look at that mustache on Archibald. That's a mustache right there.
Oswald.
Listen. These are all, listen to me, make it plain. The so-called niggas who don't understand it, these are your enemies.
That's it.
Right.
What has the NAACP did for us? Now, mind you, I know, don't get me wrong, because they have done things, and Esau understands you got to throw a dog a bone.
Right.
You just don't put no meat on it. You just throw them the bone.
Just the bone.
Just the bone. That's what they did. They give a little bit here you get, we name a street after you. We give you a couple of jobs because we got to pay some of you niggas a little bit. But the mass of us, we're still in the same condition, if not worse.
Facts.
And that was the part that was shocking to me. Like, the fact that we're no better off than we were in 1963 as a whole. Like, you got a couple of people
I think we're worse.
We're worse.
Yeah.
I think so.
by far.
When you look at stuff like this, you really realize that the Bible is a real book.
100%.
Because there's so many levels to this, so many layers to it. You say, okay, never trust your enemy. It shows that the example, like in Esdras 4, about how we shouldn't deal with our enemies, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you look in Revelations about how we're going to be nursed by the serpent and how we had to get built up and we had to see certain things. And then go to Psalm chapter 10, verse 2, right? Because there's so much stuff there's so many levels to what happened to us. The Bible lets us understand it. It's like you'll never see it. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, they in charge of all that stuff. But wait a minute, they had to be in charge to take us from one point to another point so we can overtake them in their own craftiness. Watch that. Read that. Psalms chapter 10, verse 2.
Psalms chapter 10, verse 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
Think about what kind of prideful person you got to be to uplift your enemy in order to be able to take them over. They could have just kept us on the bottom, right? They didn't have to do all that. But guess what? They like, these niggas stupid. Let's go ahead and put them in a position of power, make them think this, but then we're going to use them and overcome, not knowing that they basically gave ammo to their enemies. Read.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
And everything, every step of the way that they've done, they're going to be taken by those devices. Everything they set up and put in place, we're going to use that and overcome them at the end. So it's like you're watching a movie. It's already written here. The script is here. You're watching a movie and you're seeing it happen over and over and over again.
Yeah, I get a script.
Hey, real quick, Proverbs 24:1. Proverbs 24, verse 1. So along the lines of Bishop brought out the, what is it, the bouillon? What is it called?
Boulet.
Boulet. I said bouillon. Isn't that seasoning?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You know what my mind is right now?
The sauce.
The shimomine.
The shimomine.
You can make
sauce.
gravy with bouillon.
They got a bouillon base.
Boulet.
Got a bouillon base.
The boulet, right? But read to Proverbs 24, verse 1 and 2.
Proverbs chapter 24, verse 1. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them.
So ultimately, Bishop brought out Proverbs 3:31 about envying our oppressor and choose none of their ways. We should not desire to be like them in any way, shape, or form. Go ahead.
For their heart studieth destruction.
Because ultimately, what's their goal? You're trying to be like them when their goal, their enterprise is to destroy you. There's no good gonna come from their efforts and you trying to be like them. That's why our mindset is to destroy those that look just like us. Exactly. This is showing you that you desire to be like them, hence you're willing to do anything to your people to get a bag. You're willing to harm them, to commit adultery, get their woman, whatever the case may be. You're willing to destroy families, communities in order for self-preservation. That's how Esau operates. That is not how the sons and daughters of God are supposed to operate.
Hey, Cap, you know what's so heavy? That goes right back to what Bishop Yalsop says about the Negro was fashioned in America. That's
created.
And shout out to Bishop Medane for that script. That was fine.
Hey, it shows us that our power is in unity. Because the only reason they was able to form this is because you had light-skinned blacks that was against the dark-skinned blacks. They was trying to find their way in the middle. And it's like, let's get in there and we can start something off using them. They do this all over the world. They'll take different tribes and be like, okay, let's pick this tribe right here because they got problems with this tribe, and let's give them power to oppress them. They set us up. We got to go Zephaniah 2:1. We have to gather ourselves together. It's like it's showing us if we don't do this, they're going to always have power over us.
Finish it out?
Right. Yes, sir. And their lips talk of mischief.
That's like their think tanks. When they have those meetings so when they were having NAACP corporation meetings, you think WED Boys was in there? Yeah, they said, call the nigga in here.
So go get us on the drink.
We're going to tell you how it's going to go. This is the direction we're moving in. He had no way to object.
He was in the room and they said, give us a minute.
Yeah.
Give us a minute.
Now, they be like, say, who the hell? No, they ain't say give us. They was calling him boy. They was calling him nigga, especially in that time. Nah.
They say you in the winch.
They weren't, there's no way in the world they're treating him
with
as
respect.
An equal. They treat him just enough to where he's not offended and leaves. But then they'll just show up at his house with hoods and burning crosses.
He felt privileged to be able to stand in their presence.
Right.
He thought he
He
felt
was
like
the elite.
He's like, I'm telling you how they make you feel like you're something special. But at the end of the day, all their desire. That's why Esau and Amalek, and so-called Jew, they control the narrative. That's why they are the smartest of their breed, because they understand that the power is not just gathering their people together, but also infiltrating everybody else and set the narrative in their world. Because whatever narrative they set in their world, they do it so it can directly affect theirs for the better. So you know what happened? They'll open colleges. They'll open these groups, but they control it because they control the information that gets disseminated to the masses. And that's where the control is at.
Hey, that's so let you know that Rachel Dolezal, what
I'll
she
think
did,
about her.
it really wasn't an issue because it was already white people set up. So what she did, as in faking to be a black woman, is no different than how the NAACP has already been run. That's why she felt comfortable doing it.
Right. Hey, go back to. Oh, you wanted to read this? Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you have people online, when you have a chance, go look it up yourself and do some research for yourself and learn.
Right.
Learn. These are the so-called founders. So-called you, white man, devil.
Right. Go back to get your script and go back to Prince, Doctor or Rabbi, Doctor or Prince. We didn't finish reading about him. Go ahead.
Sirach, please ask it 12:17, because in all of that, what we saying, it's the same plot. It's the same plot over and over, and
we keep falling for it,
bruh. Like banana in the tailpipe over and over. Like, bruh, like, go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 17. If adversity come upon thee.
So this is our civil rights struggle, our equality. We want peace amongst these people that we already subject to. They say you in this situation, read.
Thou shalt find him there first.
But like he always in the mix. Like every time you look up, we start to find out more and more everything that you thought you did. Right. He just
he back there in the
he
back.
like this. Read.
Hey, he's the puppet master, bro.
Behind that curtain.
What verse yet?
17.
Verse 17.
Read.
Yes, sir. And though he pretend to help thee.
So like this is that perfect situation. This is for the advancement of colored people.
Right.
This is for y'all. We want to help y'all start colleges for yourself. And we're going to give you money if you had these little Greek fraternities over there with them.
Right.
Read.
Yet shall he undermine thee.
He used it for his own purposes. You thought it was for you. You thought it was for the advancement of colored people. You thought it was so you could have an education. No, it was so that he could use you to set up loopholes for his immigration, for his people to set up more funding for his anti-defamation. So he came with, you raped somebody and then you set up a league to make you not look guilty, but now we'll set up something for, and black people need help too, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That precept you pull right there is fire. That precept is a head crack right there. And Negroes would just read by it and they...
This Bible ain't real. The white man wrote that. Why would the white man write and tell you about him? This is him. When you find yourself in oppression, you'll find him there first when there's some kind of need that you think you need. He's right behind whatever you think you need and whatever you want, and you think you got it. Just like you thought Black Lives Matter was for you. But it was for him to set up whatever plot he was setting up. And guess what? We don't even know what was the full end of Black Lives Matter yet. You're going to find out in 10 years, be like, George Soros and them set this up so they could put forth whatever LGBT or whatever other little. So, I mean, all right. That's it. Appreciate it.
We've been had issues with Amalek since Genesis.
Man, bro, keep it real.
They were the first ones to attack us when we was trying to go through the land.
Slimy.
They showed their hand first.
They didn't come from the front.
Right, they came from the back.
Where all the mighty men were. They came from the back.
Just like they always have been.
Yes.
Y'all don't need no water. Don't come through here. Go around. They going around. Go stab the old ladies and the children in the back.
So that's the same way they throw the rock and hide their hand now.
Hey, can somebody else block Tyrone? I'm getting tired.
Like you run out of block.
I've blocked him like 12 times since I've been sitting right here.
Look out. You know what? And with officers saying that, think about the evil. Like, so for our people, we are some quick to forget. Like, once the generation that was going through the oppression is gone, we kind of like, But to think that this version of Esau wasn't even the one that was with Jacob. This is a grandchild, hundreds of years after we had already been in Egypt, and they still had that hatred in them.
But remember why though? Because remember in Genesis 30, I think it's 36, that's when you start, they're being called dukes and stuff. So that preeminence, so that whatever it is that Esau has, they're feeling it then. So they see us, we're in slavery, so they have this sense of entitlement. That's what give them the make it seem like it's okay for them to attack us from behind.
But just I'm even just saying that the thought that goes into a man to harbor that, like, that is a spiritual thing for you to harbor hatred for somebody you never met.
Right.
Yeah. Like they had those Edomites had never met the children of Jacob. They never had any dealings with them. We was in bondage in Egypt. They was home building a civilization of whatever they was doing. They had no dealings with us. We didn't even know that they.
But that's why Isaiah says that the children got to get it as well too. they passed that hatred down. Like
They have a perpetual
They had that
hatred.
perpetual hatred. You like, bruh, that's a real crazy thing.
I didn't do nothing to you. Why you hate me?
Right, I don't even know you, bro. They're like, oh, you know you kidding them. I do them for real.
Because God said,
They
I'm
taught
the
it.
God. They know the reason why they like that, and they always been like that, even though I'm not meeting us back then, because God said, I'm the God of Israel, none else.
Right.
And they understood that we had a special power on us, and all nations understood that God was with us. You think they didn't hear? You think they didn't hear of the Egyptians being killed?
Right.
In numbers, the firstborn of them. You know, envy of. And I can let me tell you, I can understand why the nations envy us.
Yeah.
Because everything we do is better, and that's what being held back. That's without the masters even knowing the laws of God. Imagine when we tap into the laws of God. That's a dangerous thing. If I was them, I would hate you too. I would hate you, and I would do everything I can do to keep you down. But they don't understand. This is a trick bag. We win. We win at the end. We win. So I understand that. Do what you got to do, Esau. We do what we're going to do. We're going to raise the 12 tribes of Israel back up under power of Christ. And then we're going to take this kingdom. And oh king, Christ is come and rule. And we're going to rule besides him.
And that's a heavy point, though, when you think about it. Because Jacob gets the blessing, and Esau's mad. He's crying about it.
Of course.
And then, like as you say, because remember, if what happened was wrong. Remember, I think it was I don't know if it's Genesis 36 or so, but with Jacob's ladder thing, right? So obviously, if God had a problem with it, he would have said, well, no, Jacob, you weren't supposed to do that.
Exactly.
So it's already written that they were supposed to get the blessing. Right. So then Israel goes into captivity in Egypt. Esau's creating themselves to be, whatever they are now. But like that hatred, ever since they lost it, not lost it, but it was prophesied.
Sold it.
And so now Esau, he's taking all that hatred, and he's had hatred since Genesis, and he's passing it down to 2023. Like that's a lot of hatred for a long time,
bruh.
Just because we're the chosen people.
And also because he realizes he's a loser.
Yeah,
he's a loser.
Yep.
What should have in all throughout history, all the blessing, the riches, the family line, the family crest. I mean, everything you could think of that deals with a bloodline is going to be given to the firstborn.
Right.
Here it is, the firstborn. Just think about it. Like in his mind is he could have been the chosen.
That's the point.
It could have been me.
Right. That's the point.
Right. Damn it, I messed up.
Right.
But,
and he's been trying to get it back since Genesis.
Because he doesn't have this understanding. I'm put my phone. This understanding. He has this understanding, not this understanding. He thinks the Lord might change his mind. If I just step into their place, maybe let me will myself there. You're wasting your time, like Tyrone.
It's not to him that willeth or wanteth, but God chose. You hit that. He said, "And it's my maybe if we say we are and we say we that we're the Jews."
I think I can.
So let's take the land and let's put the little funny hats on and let's do like this, and we're gonna try to show that we the people. Nah, they not the guys.
That nigga been so crooked. Like, I was just looking at this thing on Facebook the other day, and they was talking about Jacob, how he snuck in, and I'm like, so nobody gonna recognize the scam.
Right.
This man sold something. No, he sold it. Square business.
Yeah. And didn't tell his father when he was ready to bless him.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't tell him.
It was square business.
He was gonna take it.
And you gonna go on the back end and on some, oh yeah, I'll take the blessing now, daddy.
Here you go. He ate the red pot. He ate the sodden pot. He knew it was sodden. He ate it.
Square business.
He wasn't tricked into eating. He ate it.
He said, give it to me. Give me the red.
Give it to me. He said he wanted, so he got what he wanted. Right. But and it happened at the end of the day, Esau. You are who you are. You are bred the way you are. The nations are bred the way, and we're bred the way we are bred. And there's no change of it. Right. And I could see in them, they are Amalek now. They are the most intelligent out of all of Esau. They have understood that they have to try to control the narrative, but you're kicking against the pricks. Right. What they didn't factor and they didn't understand is that one day God was going to put his spirit on a man on earth to let him know that he is the Israelite. And that word would spread throughout the earth. They thought that we would never understand the Bible again. That they thought that they can keep us in Christianity, these religious groups, because a lot of Amalek set up Christian churches for us. Yep. We looked at that a couple weeks ago. Yep. So, and they thought that we would never understand that. But what happened? a nigga could read now.
Bishop, Revelations 2 and 9 has been in the Bible for thousands of years.
You would have been scratched that out.
And we just now get. Wait, hold on, wait a minute. So wait, that's not them. This us. And now we're able to go through the Bible and place it in our lives and see how we fit in. And every time we see how we fit in, we find out how much they don't fit in.
There you go.
That's what I like about the Bible, what you said. You could have scratched Revelations 2 and 9, 3 and 9. You could have scratched it out. Yeah. You could have scratched out Esau, redness. You tried to get rid of, you could have, and you couldn't. The Lord did not allow you.
They could have took it out the Bible and they couldn't.
Yeah. They couldn't. And that's why I said, y'all niggas really believe a white man had that much power and didn't take out descriptions of black in this book? Right. Solomon was talking about a woman. It says, my skin, and then he refers to women loving him. I said, so you saying this is a lesbian situation that we reading about right now? I'm like, bro, y'all niggas slow.
It goes right back to what you said, Captain Shemaiah, about how the understanding is not imparted. They don't have the understanding. No, you don't. Because who's that damn demon that came to do the interview with Bishop? Remember?
Kessenbaum.
Kissenbaum?
He kissed balls.
Kissenbaum.
Kissing balls.
These dudes. These devils are scared out of their damn mind.
Absolutely.
I'll just say it like that. As this truth is coming forth.
You know how scary it's got to be for them to know, like, we haven't had no formal training with the scriptures and can run circles around them in scriptures.
Listen, what we're doing right now, this movement, praise God.
Right.
We all have careers to survive. We're doing this movement part-time. Part-time work.
I got to go to work.
Now imagine if we had full time to do this. Man, please. Everybody do this and from here. Listen, as soon as it's off, listen. I gotta go to work. Yeah. I gotta go here. Man, imagine this is a full time. That's how you know God is moving this mission. Right. How do we move? How does this mission get to this degree and everybody's part time in it?
We ain't been to nobody's school.
You believe it? Ain't been to no Mike man school trying to whatever. We got this brother sitting there patiently. He moved all around this room. I've been watching him. He's moved everywhere.
Like, I don't look good back there.
Listen, he has repositioned that camera so many times. He's patient. Here is the patience of the saints.
Right.
Patient Saint Radio. You belong on this show. Because he's patiently waiting.
Hey, shalom, Officer Solomon. Most High in Christ bless. What's your question or comment?
He got his own microphone?
Boy, that's a Roku
I thought that was the vacuum.
Hey, shalom,
you know the vacuum too.
Christ bless. Shalom leadership. Most High Christ bless. Bishop.
Most High
captains. Hey, I mean, y'all pretty much moved past the comment which I was going to speak on, but hey, all praise to the Lord.
No, go ahead.
Wonderful fire.
We might go back to it. What's your comment?
Well, you know, when Bishop had spoke on his experience as far as you know, fraternities and stuff like that. I mean, it reminded me of myself when I had experienced a so-called fraternity. They called themselves the original fraternity at the time. And
kind of like those people that say they're the original school. But they just
yeah, pretty much. And considering the fact that they actually supposedly had to start their own fraternity because they couldn't be a part of the Edomite
talking about
fraternity.
Right.
You know, this was you know, the so-called Masonic group was going to go into the Boule,
right,
and everything.
Okay.
And so,
so did you ride the donkey or not?
Yeah.
Well, see, I didn't call it a donkey.
That's called stuttering.
Let's
Then
they put the knife to your chest.
You know, because and it's not a donkey. It's a goat that they say.
Oh, so that
you know
makes
what
it
they
better.
talk
That's
about.
different.
So you rode a goat.
So you rode the goat.
So you rode a goat.
Hey, no. What I did was I did get a chance to be among the older men
that rode goats.
And just as
somebody rode a damn goat, bro. I want to hear about who rode the damn goat.
Rode the goat.
Did you ride the goat?
Officer Lisha did.
I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know anything about a goat.
Oh,
I mean,
it's a secret now.
Wait, now he don't know about the
Wait. He said he don't know about the goat.
We have lamb.
Brought up the goat?
We eat lamb for Passover.
You brought up the goat.
He said we eat lamb for Passover.
We eat lamb for Passover.
That was a hell of a deflect, bro. I must commend that, bro. Get a brother a round of applause for the hell of a deflect. He said, I don't know about no goat. I know about lamb.
I don't know nothing about goats, but I brought it up.
Hey, all praises, man. Good to see you, Officer Solomon. Thank you for your call, bro. And that brother's been a long time patient patient saints viewer. All praise to the Most High, man.
Solomon, man.
Hey, I wanna finish this guy real quick.
Damn Prince.
While serving as president of the American Jewish Congress, he represented the Jewish community as an organizer of the August 28, 1963 March on Washington. He came to the podium immediately following a stirring spiritual sung by the folk singer Odetta, and just before Martin Luther King delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech.
So nobody ever talks about this Jewish guy that had a speech before Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech.
I've never heard this.
I've never seen this.
I've never heard.
They never showed that part.
So he went up and set the stage.
I never heard it.
So Martin Luther King, imagine if Martin Luther King went left to what he just brought out.
Right.
"I Have a Dream" speech would not be what it is today.
Wow.
He went along the same lines as this guy.
He set the tone.
He set the tone.
He said,
Because
"Follow my lead. Follow my lead."
If Martin went left, he would be considered a radical. He wouldn't be considered this great American hero. Guess what? That's why you don't see Malcolm X revered in America.
Right. Or his family.
You don't. You don't see that because Malcolm X wanted nothing to do with Esau.
So this guy, like you said, you never heard a speech before. And the reason why you don't hear it, because there's no need to hear it. The people who were there heard it, but that's not enough. To the masses of the world, the narrative that they want to paint is not a white face that's leading the mission.
Yes.
It's a black face.
Yes.
That's leading. I want to tell you it's a sidebar that disturbed me recently that I didn't know. They were speaking about Rosa Parks. And they said there was an Edomite that paid her rent. He owns
the pizza place.
Little Caesar Pizza. He paid her rent for 10 years. So when I heard that, I'm like, this woman been through all that she's been through, and forget about what we do. I'm doing just black people. Black people ain't what I want to use. You're going to tell me, with all you rich niggas out there, like you said, we don't revere our own. This woman, a white man had to come. You gonna tell me none of you niggas could have paid her rent? She should have been comfortable for the rest of her life. Just because you knew the strides and struggles she'd been through.
Facts.
Just for that. You gonna tell me the Malcolm X wife and family struggled? They went through all this stuff and they wasn't being taken care of. Meanwhile, you niggas is buying chains. That's why I said you can't. The black man tell you can't respect him. He's a clown. He's a clown. He's a clown. The only one that I put any faith in is the ones right here keeping these commandments that stand for what's right.
Facts.
If we had those resources, there's no way one of those sisters that's laboring out here is going to ever need. That's a mother to the nation, and you gonna tell me nobody take care of her? Meanwhile, you niggas is popping champagne and doing all kind of nigga nonsense.
So,
and this clown, I'm sorry.
So the same NAACP that can give out millions of dollars
Didn't
in
take care of her.
scholarships couldn't set $1 million. What, $1 million would pay this
That
lady
woman,
rent for
that,
years.
that woman should have been that woman should have been living in a house.
Rent was cheap then.
That woman should have been living in a house and taking care for the rest of her life. NAACP, my black backside.
No problem.
Damn. So I guess y'all found a video of the speech? Hey, just go back and just finish the bottom of that article.
If you ever hear a white man speaking for IUIC, know for certain we ain't with that stuff. You ain't never shit your
black ass down.
Somebody said the NAACP stand for niggas ain't about the advancement of colored people.
Damn.
I just made that up.
I like that.
Carmelo bad, bro.
Be quick with it.
Yeah, just finish it.
Dr. Pence's address is remembered for its contention that in the face of discrimination, the most urgent, the most disgraceful, the most shameful, and the most tragic problem is silence.
Now, I want to paint the picture. What they were saying was, we need all of you Negroes to speak up for the Jewish cause. You cannot be silent. Once they got what they wanted, their asses became silent.
Yep.
Y'all notice that?
Yep.
Always.
Where the hell was all of these Amalekites during Trayvon Martin's rallies.
Right.
I know IUIC was there.
Yeah.
Where were they during Eric Gardner, Sandra Bland? I thought the most shameful thing is silence.
They was creating
in the face of discrimination.
They was creating a canary website.
Yeah, literally.
That's what they were doing.
Thank you.
Yo, come on, black people, man. Yo, we cannot. Please don't let me believe that we are that dumb. That we can't forget what you think we believe. This is fact.
Right.
This has actually happened. When do we galvanize under something that's meaningful? And the only thing we have is these commandments that will get our minds right. To change. Damn.
So, go to the screenshot. Go to the screenshot. Because you can find this information that we're about to show all over the internet. There's a ton of books. Bishop goes over them all the time. History's brought out all the time about it. So this is just on the internet. It's an article written by 2 authors, and they go into the relationship between blacks and Jews, right? So let's just read a little bit of that, then we'll go down to the highlighted areas.
By Huey L. Perry and Ruth B. White. The post-civil rights transformation of the relationship between blacks and Jews.
So this is after civil rights, right? Go ahead.
The relationship between blacks and Jews in the United States has been the subject of considerable discussion for more than a decade and increasingly in recent years. The focus of this discussion usually is whether this relationship, once characterized by support and cooperation forged as allies in the civil rights struggle in the South, actually has taken a turn for the worse in recent years. The position taken in this paper is that the relationship between blacks and Jews has been transformed from one of support and cooperation during the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s to one of conflict and suspicion during the 1970s and 1980s. The objective of this paper is to examine the causal factors behind the deteriorated relationship between these two former allies and to provide appropriate analysis and explanation.
So there was never a real alliance between so-called blacks and so-called Jews. There was never an alliance. It was only an agenda. So like you brought out, Officer Carmela, in Sirach chapter 12, when adversity come upon thee, you shall find him there first. Right. So once the allegiance ran out, they was like, nigga, get out my neighborhood. Now, let's go, for time's sake, go down to the highlighted parts. So read that sentence beginning in there. This was the...
Yes, sir. This was the beginning of a history of inequality in the relationship between blacks and Jews. Quote, Jews were traders and masters. Blacks were merchandise and slaves and servants. Unquote. Jews were accorded civil liberties and enjoyed social status among their Christian peers. Many were viewed as respected members of the colonial society.
So the colonial society that we hear about in American history, they were Amalek. So you know when the 13 colonies is being established and all of that, that was Amalek.
Bam!
Bring it out. That was Amalek.
So he know it's 12 tribes.
Yes.
He want to add himself, so we just gonna make it
13. There you go. Go down to the next highlighted.
Slick bitch.
Go down. Start somewhere in fact. How about that? Start at the top of the pattern.
The pattern of Jewish acceptance of the subordinate position of slaves continued into the 19th century until the Civil War.
Which Bishop brought out about the Confederates being Amalek.
Yep.
So you see how it all lines up. The Bishop's been bringing this out for years. Nobody wants to believe, but all you have to do is just Google it. It's right there. Since Negroes only believe Google, they don't read books anymore. Yep. Go ahead.
In fact, according to Roberta Furlich, in the pre-Civil War South, there was a disproportionate number of Jewish slave owners, slave traders, and slave auctioneers.
So in the South, it says you might see all of these slave owners, slave auctioneers, plantation owners. It says a disproportionate amount of them was Amalek. So how is it? You got to think about it. Timeline-wise, we start out as slaves under Amalek. Fast forward to the 1950s, Now all of a sudden they want to be our friend and help us with a civil rights movement when they destroyed our civil rights for centuries. Then once they got their state, they got their funding, they got blacks behind them. Black preachers in church today is telling Negroes to support Israel.
Right.
Right.
Today they doing it.
And anti-Semitism.
Today,
Stop
literally.
anti-Semitism.
But after the civil rights, once the 1970s hit, they said, "Nah, we don't need y'all niggas no more."
Done
Because
deal.
we were destroyed it. We were destroyed then.
Hey, Cap. Cap, that's crazy. Because, you know, Bishop always touches on the financiers, Lloyds of London, things of that nature with the ships and things. So this is like what you say, just the whole damn grand scheme of what they did.
All the pieces of the puzzle is there
just
now.
everything there now. Even what they did to Germany.
Yep.
Like, you know how you said, Bishop, they pretty much put themselves there, but for the greater gain of
course.
their people. It's
They
freaking,
position themselves.
position themselves.
Yeah. Same way we went
crazy,
over
man.
the Rothschilds establishing the Federal Reserve.
Reserve Bank, right.
They leveraged themselves because they were lending Europe and Germany during the wars, paying. Let me tell you, Amalek
Both sides.
is a different kind of devil.
That's crafty.
They
That's
were
blue
funding both sides of the war. They were getting what? They were getting leverage. So when it was time for the Federal Reserve, who could speak up against it? I've been funding y'all all this time. The same money I'm giving y'all, let's put it all in here. And guess what? Now they control the entire monetary value of everything in the world.
Hey, Cap, and that's why it goes back to what we were saying about the different tiers of these devils of Esau. These are the.
That's you're right. I'm telling you, and amongst Esau, a lot of those other families of them, they despise them.
Right.
Yes.
They despise them,
Yep.
but yet they'll work with them because at the end of the day, we all family. But Amalek is the blue blood. They were the ones. That's why they're the ones that you see prominently as the psychologists.
Yes.
The father of psychology, the father of sociology, the father of propaganda, the fathers of banking. They understood to control the world globally. To have real dominance is they have to have global control. So you was talking about the banking system. What they understood early on was that they would take their family members and move them to different places all around Europe.
Yes.
Sons.
And they never were positioned themselves to be kings of Europe, even though some of them were involved, but that wasn't a big deal to them. They'd be the kingmaker. We control the money. We control the armies. A lot of those kings didn't have the power that you thought they had. It was their lords that they had in their different lands that had armies that when they called a war, they would call all their lords in. And their lords would bring their armies in. These men, I'll be the lord of this land because I'm going to be the landholder. These people are going to live on my land. So what they would do was they would move their families all around around Europe. And then when you had these people that were wealthy that wanted to travel from Prussia to Italy, you wasn't traveling with a big chest of gold. Because you're riding roads, people can rob you on ships. What they would do was like, leave your money in our banks, we'll hold your money, we'll protect your money. And when you get over there, here's this letter, it's my seal, hand it to this person over there, and they'll give you that money. And we're going to charge you a little percentage opposed to you doing it. And that's how they made their wealth. And they understand that that's how they began to start trust interest, and that's how they get us in debt today. It's a big scheme. But here's the point behind it. It infuriates me. It infuriates me, and the only thing that holds me together right now is Captain Cashmere's voice.
I thought it was just me.
You know, that
Got him.
It serves a purpose though, because
What, his voice?
everything that Amalek did, because when you look at it from the grand scheme of things, the entire world belongs to Israel.
That's right.
So it makes sense strategically for them to control every aspect of our lives. So that way, even if we did some kind of way, let's say that they mess up and we do come together, they control everything to shut us down. It served a greather purpose.
It's like they're letting it out now when you watch them shows like Game of Thrones and The Last Kingdom and things like that. How they had the Iron Bank. And so how it controlled both parts of the war, or The Last Kingdom, how you was just talking about, Bishop, how they had they put people in position in different places. They wasn't in power, but the men that was under them was in power.
There you go.
Right? They showing us what they're doing. Like, but it's the pride. Like, why would you put that out? That's really what actually happened. It's like They like, they ain't gonna know.
The Lord said He's gonna make their tongue to fall on them. It can't help but tell on. Bro, Esau, I've been looking at that. He can't. The Lord put that in him. He can't help but write it down and tell what he did. Like he can't help but do it, and that's the only.
That's his pride. That's his pride.
You know,
he just can't help himself.
Esau actually thinks that they're going to defeat Christ.
Yeah.
They actually do. There's a I can't think of the name of the documentary, but there's a clip where this Edomite who was, I guess he had like high level security clearance or whatever, he was explaining the purpose and the reason why they created Space Force X, and he literally says out his mouth that they created it to force the return of Christ.
Damn,
that's what he literally said.
Listen, we got 5 seconds before we go to commercial. We want everybody to stay on, tune back in, and the only way to do that, get Captain Cashmore to say, "Come back,
take us out, Captain.
Take us out, Captain Cashmore."
Stay tuned to Patient Saints.
Oh, so they're coming back now.
Just keep smooth with it. I'm sealed.
Have you imagined the benefits of homeschooling your children in the comfort of your home? Whether your children are elementary age and just learning to read, becoming an effective homeschooling parent is a skill that can be taught and it can be learned. And I'm here to help you on your journey. So please consider Principal's Principle. Let Principal's Principle help you in your journey.
Hold that thought. Let me get myself together.
Just let me know what you want me to do. Tell me, just so you won't be alone.
Introducing Ophirus Creations, your go-to clothing store on Etsy. Our collection features the finest quality clothing at affordable prices, from fringes to ponchos, multicolor bullion fringes to metallic fringes, t-shirts to waist beads, and colorful skirts to maxi dresses. We have everything you need to elevate your wardrobe with a wide range of options to choose from. We guarantee that you'll find something that suits your style. Visit our store today and shop with us to discover the perfect piece to complete your outfit.
I don't think y'all understand how 100% legit this lemon body scrub is from Crowning Scents. Man, it's 2 steps. Put it on, rinse it off. Correction, it's 3 steps. The 3rd step is to smell good. Don't forget that one. All right. Now this hair growth oil, which should really be called the beard oil, is undefeated. Your beard gonna go from scratchy to classy. Don't sleep on it. Go get you some, man. You're not gonna regret it.
We do our own sound effects here. Oh, there it goes.
That's
They
a nice
finally
horn.
woke up. Come on, MLK. Come on back. Hey, all praise to the Most High. We back on Patient Saints
Radio.
The number one radio station
Number one.
in Israel.
Yeah, so as you can see, and real quick, we want to put Officer Lish, I just put something in there in the fire joint, so that we can just see, because Bishop made mention of Rosa Parks. Bishop can Nathaniel send something real quick.
Shout out to the gang warden.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's funny? I found a clip of game wardens looking through the woods with binoculars.
Can we see it?
I gotta find where I put it in one of the groups, but I gotta just pinpoint it.
Hey, this brother wrote, Tyrone works for Fed now.
Oh yeah. Facts.
That's hilarious.
Facts.
So what we got?
Let's read that. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Parks versus LaFace Records. Lawsuit.
Yep.
Parks versus LaFace Records. 329 was a lawsuit filed by attorney Gregory J. Reed in March 1999 on Rosa Parks' behalf against American hip-hop duo Outkast and LaFace Records, claiming that the group...
You got to press Wikipedia.
Oh, it's Bishop sent a screenshot.
Yeah, find what the lawsuit was about.
That's crazy.
I think because they used her name in a song.
They didn't even use her name. Her name was just the
title of the song.
Of the song.
That's it. But they didn't use her likeness or anything in the song. I remember that.
Yeah, I think it was talk about the back of the bus.
Oh yeah, hush that fuss. Everybody move to the
back of the bus. South got something to say.
But I think it goes along the lines that the Edomite paid her rent all that time, and now she's coming against her own people to sue for what?
There it is, right there.
Go ahead.
Go up. Oh, shucks.
The case was dismissed.
It's right there, that first paragraph.
I'm assuming that's where we at, Cap.
Right, yeah, that's the first paragraph is the same thing that was just.
Okay.
Let's say the song's chorus.
All right. Parks versus LaFace Records was a lawsuit filed by attorney Gregory J. Reed in March 1999 on Rosa Parks' behalf against American hip-hop duo Outkast and LaFace Records.
On Rosa Parks' behalf. Go ahead.
Claiming that the group had illegally used Rosa Parks' name without her permission for the song Rosa Parks. The most successful radio single of Outkast's 1999 album, Aquemini. The song's chorus was Parks' legal defense felt was disrespectful to her is as follows. Hush that fuss. Everybody move to the back of the bus. Do you want to bump and slump with us? We the type of people make the club get crunk.
Hey, that was his jam right there. Hey, he couldn't wait to say that.
He's been waiting for that moment his entire life.
It makes sense because when he rap, he sounds like Goody Mob.
Yeah, he does.
He sounds like Goody
He
Mob.
does.
No, it was the
sun goes down.
Yo, hey, but that part at the top though, it said the group illegally used her name, name without her permission.
Hey, so out of all of this, what we got was. What was it, Carmela? That's the message of the day.
You know what? I looked at Gregory J. Reed hoping it was going to be Amalek, and I can still say the devil has a whole Negro want to sue a Negro for you.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it like a tribute.
Yeah.
Y'all is the worst.
I mean, tribute ain't no tribute. That's the most. Look at that. We the type of people make the club get crunk. So her name is associated. This woman suffered and fighting for civil rights, whatever you want to call that. Shit, that's inappropriate. I happen to agree. Don't use her name like that. And then guess what? If that's it is, on the law, you could have spoke to her afterwards. We apologize. Hit her off. Y'all made money. Y'all spend money. Y'all, come on, man. I don't see it.
And that goes right back to your point that or Esau had to pay her rent.
Right.
Because Negroes used her name.
Yeah, that song wasn't uplifting black people.
Right.
Hush that fuss. Shut up and sit in the back of the bus. Everybody move to the back of the bus. You don't want to bump and slump with us. We the type of people make the club go crunk. Mama Parks make the clump. Come on, man. I happen to agree. We use her name and we diminish her image. I happen to agree with that. But you young folk are different.
Right. Hey, go down. Let's see what else it says. Anything else? They dismissed it. And
the case was dismissed in November 1999 by U.S. District Court Judge Barbara Cloaker Hatchett.
Did he say Barbara?
Barbara?
Barbara. Hannibal.
What the hell?
Thinking of the cartoon.
Hanna-Barbera. Damn, you taking it back with that too.
He's so old.
Let's move on, man. Let's move on.
I just think it's such a dishonor for a woman who they uphold so highly. Like you said earlier, sis, when you said about Malcolm X family, they uphold so highly, and these people, their family is not taken care of. But we tout like we're not the Christian church. I'm sorry, so I'm gonna go back to Christian church. Christian church is the problem. They are the problem. There's no way that woman should have ever wanted. They stand on her platform that she was the woman that did this, and they don't take care. We don't take care of our own. Meanwhile, this Leo Frank, a little perv rapist, they go all out. They still 50 years later fighting to clear his name.
Even that Edomite that strangled that guy.
Yeah. Yes.
He got $2 million in a day or two.
In a day or two. Come on, man. And she can't pay a rent. A white man have to come. Once again, white man saved the day. You black men is a joke.
And the white man said, all I gotta do to become a millionaire is kill a nigga.
I got $2 million
and sell the gun.
Right. All right. They was selling Skittles and guns from George Zimmerman.
Yep.
That nigga got paid too.
He was signing autographs.
Come on, Cap. Come on, say something to calm me down.
You gotta calm the people down.
Let's go back to the list.
Here we go. I feel better now.
The weighted blanket.
Captain Melatonin.
Hey, let's go to medical apartheid right there in the middle. I can't see what number it is right there. Let's go there.
What the hell is that?
The hell's what?
His face.
Oh yeah, that funny looking Idumean.
In 2002, the Avio Core Corporation put an experimental artificial heart.
It said in 2002. Keep that in mind. So we fast forward 2002. Go ahead.
Avio Core Corporation put an experimental artificial heart into the body of James Quinn, a black man who died. The doctors in charge heralded the experiment as a success because he lived for 9 months, but his wife recalls it differently, saying that his life ended with pain, disappointment, and despair. He was promised a life of mobility, but died tethered to a hospital bed. He suffered a stroke and became brain dead. His heart kept beating by the artificial device inside his body. When we think of experimentation on black bodies in history, we think of the Tuskegee experiments. We do not think of the year 2002. This true story comes from Harriet Washington's book, Medical Apartheid. It is full of such horrific details that I have to keep putting it down because it's too hard to read. A few pages later, she talks about artificial blood, an experimental technology that gets used more in African American hospitals. This artificial blood had a associated 49% higher death rate. 2 quotes. However, no media outlets asked another important question. Should self-contained artificial hearts become FDA approved and go on the market with a hefty price tag? Will African Americans be able to afford them? Or will they be shut out of the technology that they helped perfect? We started to cover this conceptually when we talked about the immortal life of Henrietta Lacks. The cells of hers that were taken without permission saved countless thousands of lives. And yet, the very treatment that her body helped perfect is financially inaccessible to her own descendants. But it isn't just medical technologies that are used in an experimental, non-consensual way to the detriment of the black community. Dr. Ruha Benjamin, in her 2019 book, Race After Technology, explains this. Crime prediction algorithms, like prison sentencing algorithms and like facial recognition systems, are experimental technologies being developed that have a detrimental effect on the Black community. But before I give you more examples of doom and gloom, I want to look at one bright spot. I learned about the power of bright spot analysis in this book, which incidentally was also recommended in this book. These are two of the books for hope that I mentioned in a previous video. Hundreds of thousands of you watched the video where we talked about the pounds of racism birth weight gap between races in this country. Krieger found the Black-white mortality gap shrank from 1966 to 1980. Later, another study found additional improvements for Black infants from 1965 to 1975. Why? The food stamp program, Medicare, and the war on poverty. And then it got worse again because of Reagan. Policy matters.
Damn. So, when you look at all the manners of evil in the earth,
yes,
there is a common denominator. And that's Esau. Yep. So, if any of you that don't have that book, Medical Apartheid, it would behoove you to get it.
I actually just finished it a couple weeks ago. It is
crazy, unbelievable.
To see the atrocities in 2002 is what they just went over. So a lot of the medical feats and the medical accomplishments that the white man is revered for as being this great breakthrough discoverer of whatever.
Frankenstein.
Right, that's a good point.
Perfect name. Yeah.
He is the one. He is experimenting on us. And a lot of times, remember, we went over the plasma as well. How they have all these plasma centers that draw. Jake lines up because they get paid for plasma drawn from their blood.
They get millions.
But the plasma, Sister Nana, what is the plasma for again?
It's for making medication.
Yeah.
No, I mean, why do we have it?
For our body, like in our blood.
Yeah.
It's for us to. Actually, I'm not even totally sure.
It's a part
I know
of
it's.
the-
It's
a part of your blood.
It's a part of your actual blood, right? But they pay Jake pennies and they line up and give that plasma. Now, my point is, it's necessary for you to have. And now your body does make more, but you got to think about what kind of medical Frankenstein movement did they do to figure that out?
Right.
So
how many trial and errors to get to this right here? All the different medicines and everything.
How many people did they draw all your blood out?
I was just about to say, they saw the nigga dry somewhere. They're like, well, take that much.
That's in the book. That's early on in the book. They were doing that.
Yeah. So, next question. What was you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, it's literally they'll give you $30 to $40 to $50 for the plasma when you go in. Yeah, like sis, she worked on the side where they actually did the plasma. I worked on the side where they produce it into medicine. And when they produce it into medicine, literally for a pallet of the medicine, it goes anywhere from $9 million to $24 million per pallet. And we would produce 3 to 5 lots per week, and then each lot would have 3 to 6 pallets. So it is a $1 trillion business.
My dad used to go.
Yeah, it's a trillion. You wouldn't believe it.
So
it's called golden liquid gold.
Liquid gold.
Mostly made of water.
And it's coming from who mainly?
It's coming from us. It's coming from us.
You know, it's
damn. And until we went over that, I've seen the plasma centers, but I just thought it was like dialysis or something like that. No,
you don't
but
see
they
it.
do that also with us after we've given birth. They take the cord blood. There's something about the blood in the placenta, right? That blood is used. They do run tests on it, and they use it for.
Yeah, they trying to get that thing whole. They be mad if it
busts.
If it busts in that pan, you know, they be trying to get it in that pan
Yes.
and get. If it busts, 'cause I remember I think my first son, the lady, she was getting it out and she ripped it and all the blood went and. Like they was like visibly upset.
You know what it is? They want that because they said that's when the blood is at the purest. So people who have blood diseases like leukemia, bone marrow, they want that blood before anything, before it really is in the world. Bad wording I'm trying to say, but it is as pure as you can get it. Now back to that BioCorp, that guy. Here we go. Let's just play this game. Who do you think is behind it?
Right.
Amalek. Amalek is the owner. He died of pancreatic cancer.
Of who? Of
heart.
Oh, the heart company.
You know what you're saying, Cap? That was true. We look at these. We hear about these incredible researchers and innovators in the medical field. How do you think they got there?
Right.
How do you think they understood that when you when you go into somebody's brain, the front lobe controls this, and the back lobe this and this? They would have. How would you know if the person is dead? How would you know if you poke here, this arm is going to go up? How would you know that? Other than somebody being alive, you cutting their head open, and then you slowly poke to see what does what.
That's when they realize that the brain don't have nerve endings. They're like the skull, you feel pain on the skull, the skin of the skull. But once that top part off, you can keep them awake. Because I was watching this thing where they was doing a surgery on somebody, and they made him keep playing the guitar because they needed him to keep functioning while they was like, a little more to the right.
Yeah, and we went to a
and he was playing it good too.
He was they was like,
that's what's going
that's
down.
too fast.
And we went to a cadaver lab. Like, they preserved the body long enough to, like, see fingers move in the lab with the body's dead and stuff. They move you, but you donate your body to science, and they like move
donate.
May I say something?
Yeah, you got the organ donor to get your license cheaper.
Yeah.
That's you.
Just back to what we were talking about with the plasma. It says, where is plasma developed? In the embryo, cells found in your umbilical cord produce plasma cells. So they have their reasons why they're always. And I've also had nurses and midwives tell me that my placenta, and I've heard other sisters say the same thing, there's something about us as Israelite women, our placentas are different from Esau. They said that ours are thick, full, healthy. They've never seen a placenta to look like that. So it's something about us, I guess, as you know, like the scriptures say, we give birth lively. The Israelite woman
so they lively on the
has what they want. That's right.
Hey, that makes sense, because I know, I forgot who had told her, but she said when we had Anissa, make sure you don't cut the umbilical cord right away.
Right.
Keep it attached and let the last of everything, as you're saying, Mama, come out into the baby so they can draw and extract. You're not supposed to cut it right away.
So you think about it, they pay us to donate our blood and plasma. They pay Esau to donate his sperm. So they take from us to build themselves up, and then they donate their seed. So you got women like the brat can bring forth more of their babies. You know, it's a crazy circle.
Yeah, it just took me somewhere. Off Cilicia, I just posted a link in the fire group. There's a brother who patented something or had a copywritten where nobody can take it from him. He has medical proof about our DNA strands over all the other nations.
Really?
Right? So now, because science, this is their science. This is their science that they revere, right? Let's play this real quick because we're talking about medical stuff.
Copyrighted in 1996. All right. What it said is this, and this is the mind-blowing part. It said that when they tested the orangutan, they found out he only had 3 DNA series. When they tested the gorilla, they found out the gorilla has 4 DNA series, but he's a little smarter than the orangutan. They tested the chimpanzee, which is an ape, and found that he had 5 DNA series. Then they went all into the different races of the world. They went into Europe and tested the DNA series of the English, the French, the German, the Spanish, the Russians, and found they had 6 DNA series. Then they put all of this, what they found from around the world, on a map. And this map really is called the intelligence map of the world, because they tested 116 different human groups and found their DNA series numbers. All of them, all over the world, have 6. And they put the numbers in form of a little flag that you can see on this map. These little flags have a color. And they show, oh, this It's upside down. I'm sorry. Yeah. And they showed that the English have only 6, and all into Europe, only 6. Went over into Japan and China, and they only have 6. Over into America, which is predominantly European, and they only have 6. Then they came to Africa, and they came to the part of Africa. Now, all the rest of them, they put in little flag colors. Those flag colors are orange, red, if you notice. But when you come to Africa, found out that the African people have 9 DNA series. From here, just below the Shanghai Empire, down to the foot of Africa. All those 10 nations, of which African Americans descended from one of them. We have 9 DNA series, the greatest possibility of genius in our group. Now it's answered this age-old question. How can a people survive being told they're nothing for 400 years, never allowed to learn that they came from beautiful cities and told they came from a jungle? How could a people survive? How can a people become champions in everything they touch? Because they have 9 DNA series, while the rest of the world.
I thank you, sir, for your research and your deep studies. And you ask how? It's because they have 9 DNA series. Let's have Deuteronomy 7:6. Let's explain it. Now, this is. I remember Bishop Nathaniel went over Henrietta Lacks years ago. The Edomite just mentioned it in that video. They took her cells in order to cure many things, and they use it primarily for cancer research. They can't understand how her cells are able to replicate the way that they are. It's like nothing they've ever seen before.
Right.
So they still use her pattern to this very day, right? Deuteronomy 7:6.
Deuteronomy 7:6.
Come on.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
They're only showing it scientifically. We're showing it because God said so.
That's right.
God said the way, and he made mention, he said, this is where so-called African Americans derive from. All of that Western crest is where we came from. That's where we were housed and built cities. That's where the slave ports left. Those are the slave ports built and took our people from to the Americas, to Brazil, to the Caribbean, so on and so forth, to the 4 corners of the earth. But the point is, God said from the inception of the children of Israel, he made them greater than everybody on the face of the planet.
That's right.
Our people today, they trust in Esau science. They want to be like them. They want to be so-called critical thinkers, astrologers, things of that nature. All you have to do is learn from the godly men keeping the commandments of God that can teach you what God has said. And it won't be any confusion. It won't be any, I had to get this copywritten document from 19 whatever. You don't have to do that. All you got to do is keep the commandments.
That's right. God told you that you are special people unto him, above all nations. And here's one of the biggest mistakes we make. Verse 3.
Right.
Deuteronomy 7 verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
That's one of the problems. God said, I made you special, and you want to go make marriages with these people. Right. They're not like you. You can't find a woman. You cannot find a woman that is fitted for you other than bone of my bone. She must be of your own stock. You can't find a man that will equal to another man if he's not the Israelite man. You women let these men, these other nations plant seed in you. That is an inferior seed, an inferior man. You take a woman and she give birth to your child, that's an inferior child. And even though it has your sperm, it's inferior because its mentality is tainted by its ungodly parent, the mother. She is not fit. She is not fit to bring forth the Israelite child. God said, don't deal with them.
Hey, can I back that with, let me back that, Bishop, with what you said, because they are inferior, thus saith the Lord. 1 Ezra 8:69.
Yeah.
Bishop hit it right on the head.
1 Ezra 8, go ahead, read.
1 Ezra, chapter 8, verse 69. Pardon. Sorry.
Oh.
Can't call it before you get there.
I got it for time's sake.
First Ezra chapter 8, verse 69. Yes, the nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land.
And that's still taking part today. We just read that in verse 3. Bishop just said in verse 3. In what? Marrying their daughters, or our daughters marrying their sons? Y'all still have an affinity towards these people, but they are the base. They are the hosts. They're the base people. Go ahead.
Nor the pollutants of the Gentiles.
Not only that, it says that these people are pollutions. Their customs, their ways, their holidays.
Taint the seed.
Tainted, very.
Read that from the top.
The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutants of the Gentiles.
So let me stop.
Go ahead, Bishop.
No, you're not gonna pull me down that road. No,
right
I think you're driving.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. No, I ain't gonna do it. So no, go ahead. Just move on. Read. Don't listen to me.
Hey, but anyway, hey, just like the Lord said, these pollutions, like we said, their doctrines, the way that they think. Okay, go ahead.
To wit, of the Canaanites.
The Canaanites, those are your Africans.
Hittites.
Africans.
Parasites. Jebusites. And the Moabites.
Chinese.
Nilotics.
Right. Yes.
Egyptians.
The Egyptians, also Hamitic people. Go ahead.
And Edomites.
No, read that one more time.
And Edomites.
They have not put away the pollutions of Becky.
Can I get one?
Come on down.
Can I get one too?
Come on down.
No, we don't.
Oh, you want more?
There's
All right.
more. Yeah.
For both they and their sons.
It says both they and their sons, come on,
have married with their daughters.
And what happened?
And the holy seed.
Whoa. Don't run past that.
And the holy seed.
So going right back to what Bishop Kanai said, the holy seed, meaning what? The seed in my loins is set apart and should not be with the pollutions of this world.
Right.
Should not be with these type of people right here. The inferior type of people.
That's what you say. That's trash box.
That's trash box.
Oh,
damn.
You dumpster diving.
Damn.
Finish that out.
Sucks to be you,
and the
mingling.
And the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter,
go ahead.
The rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity.
Damn, so it's still perpetuating today.
Still want Becky.
Still want the flat back mingling.
Still want Becky.
What pancakes.
Jump to verse 85 real quick.
Damn.
Martin, you
all right?
Verse, verse 85. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them, that ye may be strong.
That mean we may be what?
That ye may be strong.
So how did we become so weak?
Right. Damn.
Because we sought peace with them through their religion, through their educational system, through their sciences. This is how we get peace with them. This is what Martin Luther King did with that wicked rabbi, Prince or Dr. Prince.
Yeah.
They sought peace with them. And look how weak the black man has come today. I remember, and I wasn't able to attend the Memphis 60-man camp.
Yeah, man.
I remember I sat home in my little mini-ass garment. I didn't have on a garment, but in my mind I did. Because I didn't get a garment yet. Because that's a whole other story.
I sat home in a mini.
In my mind, it was a mini
You don't
garment.
want to know what I meant.
Bishop Kanai.
Just me. Bishop, he'll be both. He said, I didn't have a garment. I'm like, okay.
And Bishop Kanai was teaching, and he's asking, where are the men?
Yep.
Let me tell you. And it's sad that you have to ask this question when you have all of these big, brutish, so-called gangsters that can take over neighborhoods, that can take over the Carter downtown Harlem, things of that nature, but you can't stand up in the face of your oppressors?
Right. But you stand up against us.
Oh, all day.
We the enemy.
We the enemy.
The hell is this?
Hell is this?
It's madness. So we've become weak by the peace that we seek.
There you go.
Damn.
Fire precept. Fire. Let's read that precept again. That precept fire.
Verse 85. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them, that ye may be strong, and eat the good things of the land, and that ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto your children forevermore.
So that precept right there is a head bust. If you ever want to be on top and rule, you cannot make peace with your enemies. Because the minute you do it, you are weak.
Right.
You are weakened. Right. We keep on looking to them to save us, the people that cannot save us.
Right.
The people cannot help it. They're not working all good. And then we'll bypass our women for their women to plant on seed in these women that are unfit.
Yeah.
They are unfit hosts.
Right.
They're unfit.
Damn, Bishop. So you might as well say when you brothers did it, man, your child, even though they could have fully developed in the womb of these hosts, your child is really malnourished.
You're
done. Like you didn't really
got all the DNA,
you ain't got all the.
Went from
Ain't
9
nobody
to
want no
6.
Cambodian breast milk.
Spoiled rat juice.
So you denied the true, like as it says that heritage. You denied the true heritage. You basically
the
messed
scripture
up everything.
it says trust in the goodness of thy stock.
That's right. That's the precept
That
right there.
race may be magnified.
The die race be made. Damn, you are killing in the head right now.
That's it right there. Damn.
Can I get one Deuteronomy 33?
Bring it out.
Please. Oh, my bad. You want?
No, I was just gonna say, like, reading this now, it makes sense when you read in the scriptures, like you read about the things that David was able to do and the things that Samson, like these Israelite men were able to do, and because of sin, it's almost like Most High shut down portions of our DNA, so we can't be as strong as we're supposed to. You know, it reminds me of that movie Lucy. If you ever seen Lucy, how throughout the movie she was unlocking different portions of her brain. It made me think of like that's how we're gonna be in the kingdom.
You know what movie reminds me of? Hancock.
Right.
He wouldn't mess with that white woman.
Get to the white woman.
Hancock was the most powerful
until
on the earth until he started. The closer he got to the white woman, is the weaker he became.
Damn.
That's the scripture. Yeah.
Damn.
Remind me about it. And he wanted her, right?
Yeah, he
Yes,
wanted
he
her.
wanted. It was like this attraction that they couldn't. He couldn't
let it
fight
go,
it.
right.
But he kept saying, because he didn't remember, he had lost his memory. He says, "I feel like I know you." And then as soon as they got closer, it started thundering and lightning.
He became a human.
Sparks and shit. You meet you.
He was.
That's how Negroes look at the white woman.
She
Look
abandoned
at
him.
that fat. She 333 pounds. She fine.
When he lost his memory, when he ended up when he lost his memory, she abandoned him.
Mm-hmm.
Like the scripture said, they're gonna all go back to their own
But when she
land.
abandoned him, he became the superhero.
Right.
He was flying around drunk.
And when
Run from the white poontang.
when he was without her, it's like he couldn't function. He was drunk.
Right.
But you got all this damn power
That part.
to
You an
crush
alcoholic.
anything, and you wallowing in your sorrow because you can't have the white woman.
The black man's kryptonite.
Personally, that movie was far deeper than a lot of us took
than
it
we
for.
took it for, yeah.
And that's the black man's kryptonite. The white woman. Sweet white glory.
What's wrong with that? Yo, we got a Zoom caller.
What's wrong with this guy?
He said, "Hey, Pickles."
Shalom.
Hey, shalom, Pickles.
Shalom, Bishop. Shalom,
Bonjour, bienvenue.
Excuse me, sir.
Bonjour, bienvenue.
She Benji, Bishop.
No, she's Levi.
Parle Creole. Parle Creole.
Benji.
She Benji that live
She's
with Levi.
Benji.
You Benji?
Okay.
Now she
Grew
American.
up Levi, but I'm Benjamin.
Parle Creole.
Yeah.
Okay, bonsoir, Bishop.
Okay,
Bonsoir.
bonsoir. Benjamin Benu.
Merci un pile.
Okay.
Okay, because I remember her talking. I'm sorry, Captain Arby. I apologize live on the air. I thought she was Levi. I'm sorry. Forgive me, y'all.
It's okay. I grew up Levi, but I'm Benjamin.
Good. But you speak the language fluently.
Yeah, she live with Levi.
Excuse me, sir?
You speak the language fluently. Creole.
Yes, well, if I go to Haiti, I will consider like I speak like an American to them. But
like you got Spanglish,
just like Deacon Laba.
Yes,
Just like Deacon Laba. So here's the thing: we was in camp teaching, and Laba was going in. You know, I don't speak the language, so I'm just trying to get in. And Levi over there was laughing at him. They was laughing at him because I guess because he don't speak it.
Right?
Because he was saying St. John's, and he said verse. Un, de, trois. and I'm looking, so I don't know, but the people was laughing so hard, and me, Bishop, look at this guy, he can't even speak the language. Oh man, so how you doing, sis?
Yes, sir. So all praises and shalom to all my sisters in Mama Paria. It was a pleasure meeting you and giving you a hug. I did not get to meet Bishop, but your presence was all that matters.
All praises.
All praises. I had just had two comments regarding the DNA and the Passover. I'm gonna start with the DNA. What you guys brought out is really heavy, and I feel like if our people knew how great they were, they would give themselves a lot of value. Because before the truth, I did not give myself value. Like I thought I was that. I hated my skin color because I was dark. I wanted to marry a white man because I'm too dark. All these things I have because Esau know the truth about us. So therefore, to keep us in the dead state, so they tell us lies, they keep us down, but really they know we're the greatest people on the earth.
That's right.
And so that's why a lot of our men are cleaving to the white women. And the white women, they love it because they know that, these are gods. Like, shoot, I'm going to have babies with them and my babies are going to be gods. But our women do the same thing. But unfortunately, their kids have no inheritance in the kingdom because their babies is Esau. But the black men, their kids has a chance, but always to the Most High. But it's just like, it's so sad because that's the trend today, where a lot of our people are cleaving to the other nations and, putting aside their black kings and their princesses and daughters of Sarah. So I'm just thankful for this truth, because if it was not for this truth, I don't know where I'd be right now. So I'm thankful for my new mindset, and I love my skin color. I'm black, darkly black like Christ.
That's right. That's right.
So thank you so much for all leadership. Shout out to the General, Bishop Nathaniel, Bishop Yaosat, Bishop Kanai, and all the deacons, captains, officers, soldiers that are doing amazing work in Israel today. And we know it's putting your lives in danger, but you don't care about that because you care about Most High God and His people.
That's
and
right.
We really appreciate you guys.
That's
so
right.
thank you.
We appreciate you. All praises.
All praises.
It's good to hear that.
Sis, your testimony is beautiful because you are an example of a mind that has been transformed by God's laws. So all praises for that.
All praises to the Most High.
I was just thinking the same thing, Mama Party. I was thinking
all
the same thing.
praises.
That sister got she
was
articulated
honest.
that
Yes.
very well,
Who's
very
that?
clear.
Right.
Now
Yeah,
I was thinking about him.
I was trying to figure out why he holding his head down.
Yeah.
And being very honest with a lot of our women have felt that way, if not still feel that way. Those that are not repented, that is.
You can smile.
You know what's so heavy?
He passed up.
You know what's so heavy? Sis, how old are you? Just going off the mindset, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 23, sir.
Look at God.
Baby.
Won't He do it?
So young. Look at that.
God.
Look at that.
Look at
all
that.
praises.
All praise.
Yeah, and my last comment was just I wanted to say for Passover, we were talking about the food earlier. The food was great. I had gotten the chicken, but when I went to the kitchen, because I was in the cleaning team, I went to the kitchen to wash dishes. And so we had lots of leftovers. And I was like, oh my goodness, that beef is the bomb.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
I perceive you
I
are a
had
prophetess.
pleasure. Excuse me, sir?
No, I was just saying you're a prophetess.
Oh, yes, the beef was the bomb. I had to take extra to the hotel with me and ate it all up. So, yes, we had a great time. I was in the kitchen with Bishop, but it was an honor again cleaning after you prophets, after you men. They would like, there's nothing better serving you men.
I love a woman that will clean up after.
There you go.
There you go. I love it.
Don't talk.
Just do dishes, baby.
Yes,
I got the rest.
Thank you so much. All praise.
All praise. Thank you for your call, sis.
That's all I had to say.
Thank you very much. All praise. Man, don't you like women that clean up behind you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There's some dishes over there, girl. You know.
Yes, sir.
Don't complain about the dish because I put the food on it.
Right.
Just wash it.
Ain't nothing like a clean house.
Like that. Yes, sir. Makes my heart warm.
Yeah.
Man. Yes.
That's what makes me feel fuzzy. Warm and fuzzy.
I like when my house smells good.
Yeah.
So
A
clean
Suns,
house
baby,
is like
suns.
Captain Shemaya's voice.
So she wiggles so nice when she's scrubbing
clean
over.
house.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
your
Yeah,
voice.
little shimmy right there.
It's
That's
a
right,
little
girl.
shimmy from the
And
shoulder
then
to the-
turn it back the other. Oh, don't do that now, girl.
Watch out,
Don't
no.
watch this way and watch that way.
Ain't nothing like that. Ain't nothing like that dish shimmy.
Sucky.
She started
With a
wiggling
smile.
when she scrubbed it over. She was like, ooh.
The way you get that detergent in that washing machine,
know?
girl.
Oh, boy.
Sucky.
I think you left a sock in the bottom.
All praise.
Go get that sock.
A house well ordered.
Cleaning can be therapeutical, actually. Cleaning.
Therapeutic, yeah.
Yeah. It can
All
be.
praises.
All praises.
JJ.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but all praises.
Hey, JJ. Shalom, sister.
Hey, you back?
Wake up.
Is that not my girl right there?
That
my girl? Yeah.
All praise. Well, we got therapeutic.
Let's.
Oh, I had a script I want.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Deuteronomy.
Yeah, 33. I like that one.
Deuteronomy.
And this go with what the sister was saying. To like kind of for me, kind of how to wrap the whole thing in a nice little package. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 29. Happy art thou, O Israel.
Like the sister said, a lot of us have to see the value in ourselves when the Most High has allowed us to understand who we are and where we are, and everything that we got to do, the whole grand scheme of it. Read.
Right.
Who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord?
This is the Deuteronomy 7. We are not like anything else on this planet. And he said that's something to be happy about.
Right.
Whether it be they science that say you got more intelligence through your DNA strand, or you could be outside, or just the fact that guess what? You have been a chosen people that have been chosen to be the people of God, and then to be able to understand his word when the rest of the world got no idea what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
The shield of thy help.
Uh-huh.
And who is the sword of thy excellence?
He said, our God is our help, and he is the manufacturer of this great thing that we are. Right. Bro, this is something to be happy about at all times. To, like the sister said, to have that pride in yourself and that understanding, and to have value and understand your own value based on the attributes that the Most High God has given us. Bro, that thing is outstanding. Read.
And thine enemies shall be found liars unto
Those
thee.
lies that we all the same, it is going to be exposed. We not like you. We not like nobody else on this planet, whether it be our physicalness or our spiritualness. We are not the same. Read.
And
so we do ourselves a disservice by trying to be like everybody else.
You dumbing yourself down.
Damn.
You scared to be great.
Right. So God put you up here above all people. You debase yourself to be like them.
For they lie. Damn. You fell for they lie of we all the same. Meanwhile, they're trying to be over you while telling you we're all the same.
Right.
Yeah. We all the same. We all bleed red, but your blood is a little thicker than my blood.
Right.
But
And
I'm not
the
gonna
plasma.
Right. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm just gonna tell you we all the same, but your placenta is heavy.
So why the hell you want my plasma?
Yeah, we all come from monkeys, but your DNA strand is closer to the monkeys than ours.
It is.
Yo, that book, just now that y'all mentioning it, hey, that medical apartheid, brothers and sisters, get that book.
Is that also medical mafia? There's a ton of books on the medical field. You finished, officer?
Read out. I finished that.
And thou shalt tread upon their high places.
And when it's all said and done,
bring it out.
Bishop say we gonna put slow, constant pressure.
That's right.
We ain't gonna stomp. We ain't gonna jerk. It's gonna be slow, constant pressure till we hear that snap.
You see them eyes are flooding.
Like a compression.
Right. I'm like, look up at me when their eyes flutter.
Right.
Oh, it's fluttering now. Got
they
you,
red.
baby.
They real red. Hey, look. One time we had to catch a vermin, right? And Officer Matthias grabbed it in the trap, and it was squirming, and he just kept squeezing it.
Put that pressure.
And when he was squeezing everything like.
That's what I'm looking for.
And I'm talking about to the
Where did that sound come from?
That's the
The
sound
eyes
it made.
pop out.
The nose started
He's very
bleeding.
good at imitations, by the way. Sound like a weasel.
The nose started
you gotta hear his
bleeding, the
Moab.
eyes started bulging, and he just was squeezing it. And I was like, bruh, you just squeezed the life out of this damn thing. And he was like, it was moving.
It's fault.
I thought about that last night when Bishop was, I was like, it keeps moving.
The pressure gets harder. Stop moving. Yeah.
I'll stop when you stop.
Yeah. Oh, praise to the Most High.
Hey, real quick, play this.
Can I get one of them little Per Se fans over here, G?
So again.
There you go. You can use my fan. You don't want it?
That brother heard me.
Again, there's always you can't jump when Esau talks.
Right.
You gotta be like, okay, devil, what you up to now?
Right. What are you not saying?
Remember the red herring class? Oh, beautiful. So the point is, there's always something behind it.
Look over there.
Let's play that.
They say the devil
I know
is
they
in the
might ban
details.
us because you know the jab thing, whatever. But we gotta put it out. Okay.
So Cleveland Clinic is rated the #2 hospital in the world. And so when a study comes out of Cleveland Clinic, people take it very seriously. And this study was devastating for the vaccine. And it wasn't intended to. What they were trying to do was they were trying to show that the boosters have efficacy. And so they believe that there's a 30% vaccine efficacy for the booster shot. But as part of the paper, they showed figure 2. And figure 2 says, hey, if we start looking at a group of 51,000 employees of the Cleveland Clinic spread throughout the country, and we look at the number of vaccine doses that they have, that the risk of them being infected actually increases for every single dose of the vaccine that they get. You get 1 dose. If you're unvaccinated, you're less likely to get COVID. If you have 1 dose, you're more likely to get COVID. You have 2 doses, you're way more likely to get COVID. 3 doses, and they showed this consistently over a 90-day observation period for the 51,000 people. And they're all divided into different groups. It's all working age healthcare workers, not people who are sick in the hospital. These are employees of the Cleveland Clinic. And they basically measured, how does their vaccination status impact their risk of getting COVID? And they found the opposite of what we were being told.
Folks is crazy. But so the point is, there was a big push behind getting the boosters, right? But what this #2 hospital in the world discovered is with every booster you get, it actually totally suppresses and weakens your immune system.
Damn.
Leaving you more susceptible and more open to future infections, COVID. And here's the thing, remember, COVID is a strand of like SARS, what's the other one? Ebola, the flu. They're all the same family. So it's not just you're more susceptible to COVID, you're more susceptible to all of those strands. So with each booster that you get, you're at a higher risk to get it going forward. Damn. So if you got 2, 3, 4 booster shots, this hospital found, and it said it shattered the medical industry with what they found as far as what the boosters do to your body. So right back to Sirach chapter 12, verse 17 again. And you got to think, why did they? And there's that show. What is it called again? When he said, we created the virus and the vaccine, and everybody lined up for it. Euphoria. And I saw that, and I was like, yo.
So people think that taking the booster shots, it's to lessen your chances of getting
there you go.
COVID.
Yes.
My poor mother She took it thinking, oh, I'm good. I'm going to take my boosters. I said, Mom, she took it. She's been taking it. And now she just got over COVID.
Damn. She had COVID a few times. Hey, I'm just at the rule of the thumb. Just my rule of thumb. I ain't no doctor. Anything Esau's push, I don't trust. I just don't trust. That's just common sense. I just don't trust.
That's it.
Nah. There's no way you're gonna tell me you haven't solved the cure for the common cold.
Right.
But in 12 months you got nah. I'm not
there's no
listening.
way.
Come on,
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Boy, you got to be crazy.
It don't make sense to me because everybody got different chemical makeups. So how do you have one shot that can just fix everybody? It doesn't work that way.
So I rolled up. I was never gonna take the shot, but I rolled up to go take a COVID test one time. I rolled up. They had a CVS that closed down. They made it into a center.
I've seen those.
So I think you go through the drive-through. Go to the drive-through. They said, "No, you got to go around the front." So I pulled up the front, and I saw the door open. There was nothing in there but a table way in the back. And I saw two Jakes walking out. I looked. I said,
No with this.
Nah, I ain't going there. I'm not going to.
I'm gonna thug it out.
If I got it, I'm not going to go take a test. Nah, it looked like a long.
It
like
sketchy
in my
as
mind,
hell.
like there's a long way in and there's no way out. Nah, Negro. Nah.
I'm gonna drink some ginger ale and take a nap.
There you go. Send them prayers.
Put some tussin in
Right.
it. Some tussin.
I tried to tell my mother years ago about the Tuskegee experiment. She always dismisses it. So I brought it back up to her around time of COVID. I said, Mom, she said, well, that's the past. That's the past. But she trusts in Esau, and so it be.
Yo, hey, you know what I think about prior to us waking up, like our parents, how, oh, it's time for you, you got to go get your vaccinations and things of that nature. The damage that has been inflicted on us, I think it's crazy. Man, tell me.
That MMR shot for the kids. Kids got what's it called again? Autism. You can't trust these people, man.
Yeah, because when we was growing up, they had another word for them, but it wasn't like how, you know what I'm saying? Like now you like.
You never knew kids with autism.
They used to call them the R word.
Right, yeah. And when I worked at Children's, they built over on Druid Hill.
Used to work everywhere.
Used to work at Drew Hill.
No, Children's.
I know what you're
You was
thinking.
background for Cisco.
Children's Hospital built a hospital on Druid Hill, but it's 8 floors. The entire hospital is just for kids and autism.
Yeah, you know what they call them?
Hospital.
You know what they call them up in New York when you was like that? When you was small like that, they call you bad. You're a bad kid. Sit your behind down. The South they call them a jitterbug.
Hey, you know what fixed that?
Ass whipping.
There you go.
They was in BD class.
That's what they gave me.
He ain't autistic no more.
Some get right.
Yeah.
You had to fight the BD kids.
Hey, that vaccine of didn't I tell you not?
Exactly.
I got peas.
You just made me have a flashback.
I used to hate them ass whoopings.
He just had a flashback.
Sounded out.
Yeah, mama.
Yeah, just say it in one dang on sentence.
In the South, I noticed there was a sister who was in the body years ago, and she had a child taking whatever stuff for ADD. And I told her, I said, watch him. He sat at my house. He was young, 5, 8, whatever his age was. And I said, look at him play video games. Look at his attention span. He will not move from that.
For hours.
For hours. I'm like, all he needs is an ass whipping. I'm telling you something. That'll fix him quick.
That'll fix it.
In South, y'all call them jitterbugs. Listen, a lot of times children behave like that or they seem like that because a lot of it is just not a well-balanced diet. You start their morning off with sugar smacks and stuff like that. Send them to school. Of course, he's going to be bounced off the wall. He's not eating a well-balanced meal. They go to school with a pocket full of now ladies and Jolly Ranchers, and they go to class. What you expect them to be bouncing off the wall? You know? You start with a peanut butter and jelly, high fructose corn syrup to start your day.
Not to mention that up until about 9 years old, children, especially boys, all of their learning is learned through play.
Yeah.
They learn everything through playing.
Yeah, my kids learn through ass whipping. My boys.
I mean, they learn how to stop through ass whipping, but they learn.
We're going to figure this. All right, let's go.
So you can build these building blocks, I can build that ass. What
I go to Walmart, I buy a dozen belts at a time. Damn. I buy a dozen. Yeah, I get you. Don't worry about it. We're going to fix you. We'll fix whatever problems you have.
Hey, real quick. Psalms chapter 12.
You didn't want to
verse 8. No, I want Psalms 12, verse 8. Because we were going into that Sirach chapter 12. You shall find him there first, right?
Psalms chapter 12, verse 8. The wicked walk on every side. And when the vilest men...
No, say and.
Excuse me. When the vilest men...
No, read it from the top.
Yes, sir. The wicked walk on every side. When the vilest men are exalted.
So, when these researchers... when these researchers get all these accolades, it's said they're propelled and lifted up by the wicked being on every side.
Damn.
And when you look into it, like we're looking into it today, this is showing, this whole booster push and all that, is showing that Fauci is one of the vilest men on the earth. It's showing that the NAACP founders were some of the vilest men on the earth. Every part of it that you look into, you see that the wicked encourage one another to exalt the vilest men to be the spearhead of whatever it is they got going on. Because the one at the top, he knows all the bloodshed, all of the experiments that were done to get to this medical breakthrough. You gotta think about how many times did they get the what you call it, the gynecology wrong?
Damn. Yeah.
How many sisters was walking around mutilated because they were trying to figure out the woman's reproductive system?
Right.
How many?
A chainsaw was invented from them using
A bone
it to,
saw.
It was something used for gynecology first.
It was a bone saw.
No, you joking?
Yeah, the bone saw.
And then they're like, this probably be good for cutting down trees.
Was that before anesthesia was?
That used to go in women's vaginas?
Bro, these people did all kind of stuff, man.
A lot of it is in it.
The thing that they use for
to open it up.
For the dilation.
Forceps.
The little duct thing.
Forceps. Clamps.
The little duct thing that they use.
To open up the cervix. The pap smear.
That thing used to be a torture device.
Yeah,
it was called like a death pair.
They would spin it.
It was called a death pair. But they used to use it on men.
Yes.
They used to use it on men. So they would put it in his behind and just
stretch it out.
All right.
In Oklahoma.
But it's like, it's what Cap saying. It said when they exalt the violence.
Bishop, I couldn't resist.
Oklahoma, what you say?
I couldn't resist.
But look, Cap, when we think about that, how true that is, all of their heroes are vile men.
Yes.
All of their statues are of vile men. Like the only reason
Ulysses
they don't
S.
like
Grant.
Hitler.
Vile. Yep.
Right.
Yo, all of them.
Yo.
Rabbi Prince, you vile as hell.
Vile.
You can't name one that ain't.
Hey, you know that.
I'm glad I'm not born a woman.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not. No, well, I mean, I'm just glad I'm not born a woman.
Yeah,
I just can't imagine.
Ain't no way to clean that up. Hey, I'm
It was
glad.
a hand crank chainsaw.
I told my wife that a
Lord,
lot. So
man.
I wasn't born.
Oh, the hand crank chainsaw?
It's a hand crank chainsaw to cut at the pelvises of delivering mothers.
I
who
told
couldn't
you.
put
Get the hell
out their
outta
baby.
here.
I told
Yes.
you it was used to cut up vaginas.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Oh God.
Two Scottish
Damn.
doctors.
Whoa. Bring it out.
And some of these
Hey, send that
experiments.
send that to the fire emoji group.
Yeah.
You can put it on the screen. Go ahead. Mama.
Damn.
Some of these experiments were done without any anesthesia.
Yes.
Believe that.
Well,
That didn't come to later on.
Because that's how they learned how the valves on the heart actually work. They had to cut somebody and watch it beat.
And watch it beat.
Watch it.
Like it's a nigga sitting there.
Now look at the top though. Read the top. Ooh. What did it say? A medical hell recounted by its victims. Gosh, dog. Can you read a little bit of that?
Oh, gee.
Ah.
Lord have mercy.
And after that, we're going to take the Zoom call.
Harriet A. Washington weighs up a play about enslaved women subject to experimental surgery in the 19th century.
Oh, shoot.
In the 1840s, the Alabama physician James Marion Sims conducted infamous experimental gynecological surgery exclusively on black women, bound to the surgical table by chattel slavery, physical force, and opium. The drug did not allay their pain, and some historians think that they became addicted to it. Now, playwright Clary Yvonne Simpson offers a fictionalized retelling of Sims' egregious practices in Behind the Sheet.
Right.
The father. Would you say they
So what
raise
is
him
it?
up? They
Look,
call him the father of gynecology?
Yep.
It says Sims sought to repair horribly disabling complications of, what is that, protracted childbirth including how do you say that?
Vesicovaginal.
Vesicovaginal fistulas that cause constant leaking of urine and feces.
So rips and tears.
Okay.
Right, basically.
So
Send me that. Somebody send it to me on Telegram.
Wow. It said the resulting pain, infection, odor, and skin problems left many women of that era invalids.
Yo.
Even pariahs.
These let me tell you something. They are the vile filth of the earth, man. And I want all of us to meditate on something. This is who God put over us.
Right.
Jesus. I want y'all to think. You got to think about how pissed God is.
Yeah.
To let these filthy beasts be over us.
Right.
What options do you have but coming back to God's commandments?
Right.
How much more merciless do these people have to be to our people for us to friggin' get it?
Right.
Come out of those damn Christian churches. They ain't teaching you a damn thing.
Hey.
You ain't learning nothing there on how to serve God.
Right.
You know how to be an expert tambourine player.
Right.
You know how to count what time the plate is going around.
Right.
You know who to sleep with, who's banging who. You know all the town's gossip. But you don't know God's commandments. You know how we know? Because we teach y'all all the time at camp. We're on Clubhouse. We work with you. We go to school with you. You don't know a damn thing about the Word of God.
Right.
Nothing.
Hey, Cap, I know we have the Zoom, but for the sisters, Mama Paria, from your perspective, you've had many children. When did it start ramping up that all of a sudden sisters, it seemed like everybody getting C-sections all of a sudden.
Nobody gets natural birth no more.
It's like natural birth.
Hey, the next article is going to touch on that with more after
We happen to have a doula.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All
Going
praise.
to school for midwifery that is on call.
I like how you said that.
All praises.
Shalom.
For me, I'm sorry. Did you?
No, go ahead.
Not educating myself at first and knowing the risks and knowing my rights as a patient. I started to do more research, I think after probably having children number 4 or so. And of course, having them in the hospitals, not knowing my rights, I often, would question things, and they really kind of went about it in a roundabout way, but it wasn't until I started reading up on things and then looking into having a midwife. And could you go back and repeat the question one more time? I don't want to stay off track.
No, basically just asking, you have the experience to be able to teach it. So basically what we've been seeing a lot more now is the force, like the hospitals forcing these sisters, you need a C-section.